brought us 3 world championships and put Baltimore on the big league map. In 1985, Jim Mora's Baltimore Stars' first and last season resulted in a USFL championship trophy. And now, 9 years later, the latest Baltimore pro football team has its sights set on the CFL's coveted Grey Cup. It started on July 7th under Sky Dome in Toronto. Coach Don Matthews presented owner Jim Spiros the game ball. There would be plenty of game balls passed around with 12 wins in 17 games. Mike Pringle has been Baltimore's brightest star. The gritty running back has established an all-time CFL record and needs only 99 yards tonight to become the first CFL player in history to rush for 2,000 yards. There's sports history to be had tonight. No true expansion team has ever won a pro sports title in their first year of play. But with a win tonight, Baltimore can bring home the Eastern Division crown. The title is on the line. Baltimore CFL football is next on News Channel 2.
Football is back. It's a brand new day. Now the town is rocking at the CFL games. Catch all the action on News Channel 2. Good gosh almighty. It's so exciting. Catch the CFL games. Yeah, Baltimore CFL games. Got more power than a lightning bolt. Come on, everybody, feel it in your soul. Football is back. Can you feel the heat? The tradition lives on. You got a front row seat. You're all invited. It's so exciting. Catch the CFL game. Hey, on News Channel 2.
Baltimore CFL football on News Channel 2 is brought to you in part by your Baltimore area Pontiac dealers, introducing the all-new Sunfire, and by Continental Airlines, featuring the light fare from BWI, and by Nations Bank. It's a cold, miserable evening in Sacramento, but tonight the Baltimore CFLs have a chance to make some history. Hi, everybody. Scott Garceau and Tom Matte with you from Hornet Field. And Tom, bad conditions, but good things can happen. With a win here tonight, Baltimore can be Eastern Division champs.
There's no question, Scott. These are horrendous conditions. They haven't had any rain out here all year long, and this is the first game it's rained, and look at the puddles that are around here. But tonight is history-making for the CFL, and especially for the Baltimore CFL Football Club. This game could put us as the greatest franchise going right now.
Well, Sacramento in a bad mood. They are out of the playoffs, even though they're at the 500 mark, but they felt they got robbed last week against Edmonton.
And in reviewing the film, I think they did get robbed. So I think they're going to be hot as hornets coming out here in a Hornet Field. And I'll say this, that this is a good team, a great team defensively, and they've got a good running game.
Quickly, what do you think Don Matthews might do? Any adjustments with the offense in these kind of conditions?
Well, the one thing he's going to have to do is really concentrate on making sure that the ball players hold on to the football. They've got to look it in their hands, and I think you're going to see a lot more running capability tonight by Tracy Ham because he's going to have to set up the game.
Now, Mike Pringle, the story on him, he's already set a record as the CFL's all-time single-season rushing leader, but he's got a chance for something real special tonight in his home area. His mom and family are here. He's got a chance for 2,000.
His family's out here. He's got 1,901 yards, and he can break that magic number of 2,000, the only player in CFL history to do it. And Pringle has the offensive line up there that wants him to get this record.
All right, we're just about set to go. Scott Garceau and Tom Matte with you. The rain continues to fall. There are puddles on the field, and Baltimore will be kicking off to Sacramento, Tom.
I never saw them squeegee a grass field, but they were out there squeegee, pushing the water off to the sideline because there's probably 2 to 3 inches on the field, so it's going to be a sloppy game. Footing is going to be a real important factor in this one, and I know some of the ball players have put the mud cleats on for this game.
Well, Iggy ready to kick it off. Charles Miles and Marcus Dowdle deep for Sacramento. Standing back on their 10-yard line. And Iggy's just about set to go. Gets the foot into it. Coming down to Dowdle, who's across the 25, tries to come wide. Across the 30, has some room up to the 40, and a good return. Oh boy, as they slide right into the puddle now. Those guys got buried over there. You couldn't see it real good, but they slid into the wettest part of the field.
Right there at the 55-yard line, but again, that gives them absolutely great field position, because what happened was when you're coming down under the kickoff on this, Scott, you'll be able to see that the Baltimore team is just going right through and they can't stop. So you're going to have to come under control during this game to make tackles.
So the Gold Miners start on their own 49-yard line. Straight ahead, they hand it off. You won't see the clean jerseys for long. That's number 20, Troy Mills. Mills, a 1,000-yard rusher. He's the top weapon on the ground. O.J. Brigance, Malcolm Goodwin on the stop for Baltimore.
Troy Mills had over 330-some yards the last 2 ball games. He's 6 foot 212, good size running back, good balance. One of the real leaders on the league in the league right now.
Mills got 3, 2nd down and 7. Remember, 3-down football in the CFL. Quarterback is Kerwin Bell from the shotgun. Hands off to Mills, has room across the 55, just short of the first down into Baltimore territory. Let's check out the offense right now. Looks like they may bring in the sticks for a measurement. Buddenberg, David Diaz, and Fonnie at the left guard. He's their top offensive line. Mike Kiselak from Maryland is the center. Rob Stevenson at right guard, and Chris Dyko, the right tackle.
Again, this measurement right here. Here goes the rest of the lineup for the Sacramento. Kerwin Bell, David Archer is out with a fractured thumb, Scott.
Well short.
Well short.
So 3rd and a short yard.
There looks like they're going for it.
Tony Burst, the big blocking fullback, comes in as he replaces Willie Boyer, a wideout. There's Bell setting his offense. Kerwin Bell, a veteran out of Florida in his 6th year as a pro.
And talking about a gutsy play right off the bat, Scott. These guys are going on a 3rd down situation.
And straight ahead with Burst, and he spins out of a tackle for the first down. Across the 50 down to about the 49. Gerald Bayless made the stop, but Tony Burst, the blocking back, took the ball 6 feet, 220 pounds. He's a bull.
Again, watch this. He's going right up the middle right there. Now watch as he turns back to the outside, keeps his balance, keeps his legs driving, hits the hole, picks up the first down. Good running.
Tom, one thing we should point out, Baltimore's defense has been solid throughout the year, but this is the 18th straight game that this secondary is started.
Played together.
And a penalty marker down as Mills takes it for a short gain. Got about 3. We've got our first flag. Alfred Payton on the stop for Baltimore.
Offsides, Baltimore. Jumped into that neutral zone. And remember, Scott, one of the fans have to remember watching this game.
Offside, Baltimore number 56. First down repeated.
The one thing you have to remember when you line up in the Canadian football game, you have to be 1 yard off the ball. So Payton stepped into that zone and got across. That caused the offsides for Baltimore. Taking a look at the defensive line, you got Payton, Pressbury, Bayless, Brigance, and the secondary. This is a great secondary. It's had a great year all year long.
Bell inside, handoff, and this is Mills. Has some room, runs out of the tackle, across the 40, down to about the 38. Matt Goodwin, who's had such an outstanding year for Baltimore, finally ran him down, but no surprise, Tom. The game is give it to Troy Mills, and they've been a good running team the last few weeks.
Just a counter trap right here. Mills breaking back to the outside. And again here, Matt Goodwin holding on for dear life. But see how Mills keeps those legs driving, Scott. Picks up the first down for them.
We'll call it 1st and 10 from the 38. Straight ahead and some room there as they pull forward. Inside the 35, Brigance on the stop.
Scott, I think you're seeing the presence that's going to happen right here for this ball game. It's going to establish the running game. Not a pass has been thrown as of yet, and they're just going to grind it out. This is the kind of football, reminds you a lot of the NFL, but with these kind of conditions, what they're doing right now with a running back like Mills is they're going to establish that running game, and until Baltimore stops it, they're going to run it.
Mills the last 2 weeks as he takes another handoff. Gets down to about the 30-yard line. 230 yards, followed by 131 last week against Edmonton. So you can see what their offense has been. That man right there, Troy Mills.
And there they come in with a field goal. Baltimore did make the stop there, but it's at the 30-yard line, so be about a 37-yard field goal. And this guy's one of the best.
Last time we saw Roman Anderson, it was the final play at Memorial Stadium. He kicked a 47-yarder with no time left as Sacramento down Baltimore in that game 30-29, but since then that may have been a wake-up call.
It was.
Baltimore's won 6 of their last 7. Pete Gardere will hold, and it looks like he'll spot it down just at about the 30. Tough conditions to kick in because you have to plant that foot.
And that's what happened with Iggy during this game. It was up.
Plenty of foot into that kick, and it is good. So Roman Anderson knocks one through. And the Gold Miners take the opening kickoff and march down and get 3.
Well, Scott, the precedent has been set right there, so we've got to watch that running game. So beware.
3-0 Sacramento with the early lead. Stan Petrie, and they run the reverse. Coming back the other way, and they get it across the 35. Look at that slop down there they're playing it. That was Drummond on the reverse, a little razzle-dazzle on kind of a tough field. You wouldn't think you'd try that kind of play.
Well, you know, Don Matthews lives on the edge, and the thing that he's really trying to do is keep them off balance during this ball game, try some different things. But right now what they're going to have to do is Baltimore's going to have to establish this running game very similar to what Sacramento has done, because it's just tough out there right now for the athletes.
Roman Anderson kicked a 37-yard field goal. Sacramento with a 3-0 lead. And here comes Baltimore with their first possession. Pringle, the lone setback, fakes it to Mike. Ham setting up, wants to throw deep. Firing downfield for Wilson. And did he make the catch? Incomplete. Incomplete. And boy, they went right after him. Play action pass, and Tracy was looking for a touchdown.
Again, right here, watch on the replay here. Tracy setting up, faking Pringle in a line. That holds him. Tracy sets up. Wilson's out in the flat back there, comes on back, but drops the ball. Slips on that. Didn't slip, he slides. Slipping and sliding out
Good
there.
call. You could see that he lost the handle on it. Walter telling me before the game, this kind of weather, he didn't want to wear any kind of gloves. He said, you really have to feel the ball. And he said, it's tough trying to wear the gloves. Ham going deep again into some traffic, and it's nearly picked off, incomplete. Good coverage back there by Malcolm Frank, who nearly had himself an interception.
Ham, this is the play before right here when Ham sets up, and watch him get nailed as he lets go of this ball, boy. He really, pressure's coming in from both sides. Tracy is a tough back.
That was Mark Ledbetter applying the crunch on Ham as he released it. And now Josh Miller on the punt as it's 2 incomplete passes and out. 3-0 Sacramento, 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. A win tonight for Baltimore would give them the Eastern Championship. Miller with a low line drive. And it skids down. Grabbed down there by Harris, and down he goes at about the 39. Rod Harris on the return, and the Gold Miners will take over. First down and 10 with a 3-0 lead. Ken Benson on the tackle. 39 yards on the punt, 5 yards on the return, as you see Kerwin Bell getting some instructions from Kenny Stevenson.
Well, Josh Miller did a good job of getting that ball off. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you catch that ball and get it out of there before that rush comes in on you, because right now, it's so slippery. If you lose your balance when you're dropping that leg to kick, you just want to make sure you get it up in the air and out of there.
Mills and Burson, the drop play to Mills, and he gets a few up to about the 42-yard line. Gerald Bayless makes the tackle for Baltimore.
If you take a look at that line right across the front there, they've done such a great job with Pressbury, Brigance, Gerald Bayless, and Alfred Payton. It is a real team working as unity, but the backers behind them have done a great job with the Goodwin twin brothers back there, and then Tracy Gravely having a great game with tackles. He's leading tackler on the team, isn't that right?
That's right. Yes. Second down and 7. Bell's going to go for the shotgun. It's Harris in motion. Has time. Throws out the flat complete to Harris. Gets around Watson across the 50 into Baltimore territory. At about the 54-yard line, that's a first down. On the pass to Rod Harris, Stan Petrie finally knocked him out of bounds. Saw Harris's speed that time.
Good coverage on this, and Watson's right out there. This is where you've got, he makes a juke, and Watson misses the tackle, but he has good coverage on it. You can't miss those kind of tackles when you're out there. That would have stopped him. They would have been in punting position right there.
Instead, it's first down and 10. 13 yards on the last play. Gets down to the eye. Bell with plenty of time, overthrows his man. He tried to get it to Rod Harris, had him open, and that one just sailed a little high, and you see the reaction from Kerwin Bell. He knows that's a pass he'd like to complete.
He'd like to have that back over again. Good play action. Again, what Sacramento has done so far, Scotty, is they've established that running game, and that's holding those linebackers. And on that one right there, Bell got behind those receivers and saw that it was the open thing.
There's the numbers on Bell. 6 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Of course, David Archer has been primarily their quarterback. Archer passed for over 6,000 yards last year from the shotgun. A little better rush this time. Out in the flat, incomplete. Good coverage as Charles Anthony was closing ground on Rod Harris.
Throwing those long sideline passes in this kind of weather with the ball being as slippery as it is, it's really difficult. Not only that, Scott, but to be able to plant that foot and break to the outside, you've got to be under control. So your timing when you're running the pattern is much slower.
Nice gloves on Coach Matthews. Got the red ones out.
Patent leather red.
Pete Gardere averaging 42.3 a punt. Gardere played some quarterback at Texas, so he's always a threat. You've got to keep an eye on him. 3rd and 10 punting situation here. That's a pretty good punt. Driving Smith back, got a hand on him. It goes out of bounds inside the 20. Lester Smith couldn't find the handle, but fortunately for him, it went out of bounds.
Those are the kind that are scary, especially in this weather. You see it coming down, the rain's coming right into your face, and it's crazy.
38-yard punt, no return. Timeout. 8:04 to play in the first quarter. It's the Gold Miners 3 and Baltimore nothing.
Well, come on back and get some tickets here back in Baltimore. November the 12th, 4 o'clock, we have a game. Give us a call at 554-1040. The operators are standing by. We need your support to come on out and support that game. We want to get, and there's lots of tickets left.
Absolutely. Definitely, no matter what happens here tonight, there will be a playoff game in Baltimore next Saturday at 4 o'clock. You saw the number on your screen.
And they get a hat, and they get a hat, too.
All right, here comes the Baltimore offense. Mike Pringle turning the corner. 20 up to the 25. He's got a first down and forced out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So Pringle on the road to 2,000.
On the road to 2,000. Picks up 15 yards on that one, Scott.
Junior Robinson finally forced him out, but had the groin problem. Tom looked pretty good right here.
Turning the corner right there. Pringle with the great speed, getting to the outside. Has a little bit of a pulled groin, but boy, I'll tell you, you can't tell he has it there. He turns that corner and picks up 15 yards. Great running and great blocking at the point of attack.
So first down, and now Ham fakes it to Pringle, sets and throws, and it is complete. Ball is loose. Let's see if it's a fumble. Sacramento picked it up. And I don't know if he was tackled, Tom. He's running down the sidelines. It is Sacramento ball. Bobby Humphrey, the veteran defensive back who spent time with the Jets for years in his 11th year as a pro. And it'll go the other way.
Again, great play action on the play. And again, what we talked at the top of the program, again, is that you have to hold on the ball. Great throw right in there. Tucks it away. Guy knocks it right out. You have to be able.
Sean Beals on the reception.
Boom. Knocks it right out there. Reaches in behind him. Ball comes popping out. Now, if it had gone out of bounds at that point, it would have been Baltimore's ball.
Jamie Redmond on the recovery, and Bobby Humphrey forced that fumble with the tackle on Sean Beals. And here comes Troy Mills. Off the right side into the mud and down to the 45-yard line. Does the jersey get a little heavy after a while?
Scott, this is one of the things that I hated about playing in the rain is that you got soaked all the way down to everything. There wasn't a dry part on your body, and I couldn't wait to get in at halftime and change jerseys just to get something dry on it. It's miserable out there. And when you're slipping and sliding, like they're going to tear this field up too.
Well, it might not matter because they may never be back here
Again.
again.
That's a good point.
Most of the reports think this club could be playing in Oakland next year. Here's Bell flipping over the middle, had Mills, but threw it behind him, incomplete.
Mills
and
all
on the coverage.
Mills all-purpose back, got good hands coming out of the backfield. One of the leading receivers on the team, and this kid is an all-around great athlete. Scott, the pressure on we have got to continue. Here's O.J. Brigance putting the pressure coming from one side, Peyton from the other. You can see Pressbury coming in. Everybody is putting that pressure on as the quarterback is setting up, letting the ball go.
Kind of a quick drop, really not that much pressure on him that time as they protected him, and now it's a punting situation for Pete Gardere. Lester Smith standing back inside the 10, and that could be a single. Let's see if he wants to bring it out. Smith takes it in the end zone, puts the knee down, and that's a single for Sacramento, and the ball will come out to the 35.
Scott, that was a great punt in this weather. I mean, he drove them back.
But the question is, do you want to do that and bring it out to the 35, or do you want to pin them back and kick it out of bounds inside the 10 maybe and make them start on the 5? I know Don Matthews' choice in that situation is usually let's pin them and see if the defense can hold down.
Exactly, and then they just got the 1 point here, 4 points. You know, Don Matthews is looking at the score of what's going to happen for the rest of the ball game. So 1 point, he doesn't feel this early in a ball game is that much of a deciding factor.
And maybe if you're Kay Stevenson, you say you got an off track, and maybe it'll be a low-scoring game, and singles might mean a difference. Pringle, the lone running back, he's got the football on the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, up across the 50 to about the 55-yard line, and that's a typical Mike Pringle play, Tom, because really didn't look like it was going to be anything but a 3-4 yard gain.
3-4 yard gain. Again, watch the offensive lineman getting out around a corner, and again, you'll be able to see it's a counteraction play going one way. Pringle breaks back out to the outside, but look at the blocking. Tui Peluto's out there, Earl's out there. These guys are downfield trying to get Pringle that extra yards, and he needs to break that 2,000-yard mark.
Ball right at midfield, first down and 10 after the run of Mike Pringle. Trip receivers come to the left side. Tracy Ham calling out the play. And the pitch comes to Pringle. Turn in the corner at the 50, spins down to about the 48. Got about 7 or 8 on the play.
7 or 8 yards again. That time, Tracy Ham at the line of scrimmage saw something that the defense was doing. Been able to read that defense, give Pringle the ball, and an offensive line again getting back to the outside. Pringle making good progress. Gets hit, but you see how he keeps that head driving? Watch how he turns, gets his shoulders upfield. Boom, nails that back and keeps spinning. He gets an extra 2-3 yards from that effort.
So a 20-yard run from Pringle, followed by a 7-yarder, and it's second down and 3. He's setting his offense now. Pringle, long running back. He's got it on a quick hitter, and down he goes. Slammed down there by number 93, George Bethune, a 260-pound lineman, and that was a big hit.
Woo. Boy, that's what you call filling the hole real quick. Again, watch Bethune on this. Handoff right, real quick trap right there, and Bethune just closes in and really nails Pringle. No pickup on that one.
So now it's 3rd and 2, and Don Matthews sends in punter Josh Miller.
Again, here's a decision that you have to go for. Try to get him backed up now. Let the defense take command again of the ball game. They've got a lot of confidence. The Coach Matthews has great confidence in this defense. It's played as a unit all year long. You take a look across the front four with the addition of Alfred Payton. He's done a great job and a great punt.
Harris going to let it hit, and it scoots into the end zone, and that'll be a single for Baltimore. It's touched by Harris. Baltimore comes up with it.
We may not get the signal because they didn't give him the 5 yards.
Scott, penalty marker down in the end zone, and I'm sure that is the call, Tom. Got to give him 5 yards. We'll get it straightened out and hear the call from the officials.
"59-yard punt by Josh Miller."
Of course, in the CFL, you get the distance into the end zone.
Pringle, by the way, Tom, 4 carries for 43 yards. He came in needing 99 to hit the 2,000-yard mark. So
I think he's got a good chance of making that.
43 in the first quarter.
43 in the first quarter. That's not too bad. He's had some great runs. He's had a 15-yarder or a 20-yarder.
I think they have to take the penalty here, Tom, because if not, they touched the football. Baltimore recovered. It would have been a touchdown.
Yes.
So they may have to punt again. Let's get
illegal interference on a loose ball. Baltimore. It'll be Sacramento's first down on the 10-yard line. No point.
No point.
No points. So no single
because of the penalty.
Interference on the loose ball was the call.
Well, he pushed him from behind, I think. And
right there. There it is.
Right there it is. Number 9.
Anthony
Charles.
Yeah.
Charles.
We'll step out. It's 4-0 Sacramento. 3:40 to play in the first quarter. Tom, as we originally thought, we thought it was a single and the ball would come out to the 35, and the officials have changed the call, and that is indeed the case.
Again, there is a penalty on it. There's a little interference and pushing right there, but the ball is recovered there. They accepted the penalty. Otherwise, I think they would have gotten on the 5-yard line, and they'd rather have it on the 35-yard line, so they gave the 1 point up.
I think the call was because of the interference in the push in the end zone, that the ball comes out and they take the single instead of starting down on the 10.
The 10-yard line.
Right. So it is a 4-1 game. Welcome to CFL football, where
and it's a start of the second inning.
As Jim Spiros pointed out, the only person who really knows what's happening often is Don Matthews.
Don Matthews, because he knows the rule.
He's been around the game for a long time, and there are some idiosyncrasies in the rules, and we learn something every game we're around. But it's a 4-1 Sacramento lead. They've got a field goal, and each team with a single now. Roman Anderson kicked the field goal. 3:40 to play in the first quarter. And the gold miners, it is Fan Appreciation Day, Tom, and I'll tell you what, the fans have had a tough go of it here in Sacramento.
Appreciated is right, but it's amazing. I wouldn't come out if we weren't in this booth. I wouldn't be sitting out here in the game watching it. But they've got some great fans out here, like we have in Baltimore.
Not a lot of them
tonight, but it's really great because
you got to be a good fan to be out on a night like this.
This is miserable.
50 degrees at game time. The rain started overnight and has come down all day. The wind has died down some.
Yes.
It was windier earlier in the day.
In fact, they had we got a report. There's now about a foot of snow up at Lake Tahoe, and went up there and saw Lake Tahoe yesterday. Had a great time, and we came back. It started snowing last night. I got out of there before it really started snowing with some of the guys on the radio booth.
There you see the numbers on Troy Mills early on, 7 carries for 31 yards. So you know Mills and Pringle are going to get a workout. And this is Mills straight ahead for about 3 or 4. Nothing fancy, running over the middle of his line with Mike Kiselek. We should point out Mike, a former Maryland Terp. He's the center for the Gold Miners.
And in one of his quotes this past week, he says, you know, last week with the call they had, this is our Grey Cup game against Baltimore. So Kiselak from Maryland. Everybody back in Baltimore should know this young man. 6'3", 290. Second year here with Sacramento.
Troy Mills right there. Second down and about 6 to go. Kerwin Bell is the quarterback. Drops back. Oh, nearly lost his footing. Throws the, nearly picked off by Anthony. Carl Anthony had a great break on that ball, Tom, and that was close to a touchdown.
Almost. Open sideline right down there. Oh, came great timing.
2 things to watch here. Watch him slip on the setup right there. And then on the other end.
And watch Carl right in the corner there. Almost picks it right out of his hands. No one could have touched it. Matt Goodwin also out there, and he's even excited.
Pete Gardere to punt, standing just inside of his 25-yard line as you look at Lester Smith. And you take nothing for granted. Snaps. Oh, Gardere hits a dandy. Lester Smith about the 22. Heads upfield, penalty marker down, and he's down at about the 31.
I think we have a clipping penalty on Mr. Walton.
And Curtis Moore, penalty marker down.
And we've got an injured player for Sacramento.
Illegal block. Baltimore number 4. First down.
Alvin Walton coming up on a clip on that one. I think he was trying to avoid him, but came right up the back of his legs.
Charles Franks is the injured player getting some attention. And the ball being marched back inside the 20. There's Elvin Walton, former member of the Redskins.
2 Super Bowl rings. And I'll tell you something, he's like a young kid on this team, and that's the kind of attitude that you have to have on this ball club, because he's down there sacrificing his body all the time on the special teams. This is a return right here, and you'll be able to see.
You almost saw Smith lose the football as well. A lot of ball showing there, but Lester covered up.
Again, you'll be able to see his knee come right down, right underneath there, right where the ball was. That knee collapsed right underneath, sort of a almost like a hyperextension of it, but to the back.
Tom, a clarification now on the single, and the ruling was that you can't award a point on a penalty. So even though the ball came out to the 35, no single for Baltimore, so the score does remain at 4-0. They're still pitching a shutout.
They're still pitching a shutout. Well, the officials, I think, better figure that one out.
What about as a ball carrier in this kind of weather? Do you tend to cover up with 2 hands more to take better care of the ball?
Scott, that's a good question, because you run a little bit more cautious. You're really trying to cover the ball up with both hands, and you're making sure, because it's so slippery sometimes, it'll just slide out on you. And also it has a tendency, the defensive guys come in and really try to punch it out on you, and it's a lot easier to squiggle out on you. So when you're running that ball, you should cover it up with both hands. I always did this kind of weather used to bring everybody down to my speed. See, slow.
The great equalizer.
The great
right?
equalizer.
See the phone number there, Tom?
Yes, we're giving hats away for people who order their tickets for the playoffs on November the 12th. It's on next Saturday. We're probably going to play either Ottawa or Hamilton, depending upon a game tomorrow that's going to be played. So give us a call at 554-1040 and get a hat. It says it. There's the hat right there.
Meanwhile, still some attention being given to Charles Franks, who's now up on his feet and heading over to the near bench. But
he looks like he really wrapped that knee up pretty bad.
.225 to play in the first quarter. It's been Sacramento so far, 4-0. Mike Pringle has rushed for 43 yards. Needs another 46 to reach the 2,000 mark, and we'll count down Mike's chase at 2,000. And back to pass, penalty marker down. Tracy down the middle, and it's incomplete. Maurice Miller got a hand on it. Miller, their outstanding middle linebacker, nearly picked that one off. He's been named Sacramento's most outstanding player and defensive player.
Maurice Miller, 6'3", 230 out of Wake Forest. 2 years here. Again, watch. Great reach on this. Tracy Ham is leading back to the outside. Miller just gets his hand on the ball.
First down repeated.
But Sacramento was offside, so that gives Baltimore a 1st and 5, Scott.
1st and 5 from the 23. Tuipulotu and Pringle are the running backs. Split behind Tracy Ham. Tracy barking out the single. Now gets under center. And gives it to Pringle. Mike runs out of a tackle or two. And he lost the football. Lost the football. I believe Sacramento has it. And that's what happened. Pringle lost the handle, and Tom Gerhardt comes up with the football.
Again, that second effort by Pringle here when he's spinning out. Again, you'll be able to see it on the replay. Just a counter draw back to the inside, cuts back inside. This is where you've got to really, he covers up there, lets go, and watch here's where he gets hit and the ball pops out before he hits the ground.
Gerhardt made the hit, and Junior Robinson came up with the football. Robinson, a teammate at East Carolina of Baltimore's Walter Wilson. So you see the turnovers.
This is a night that there's going to be a lot of mistakes on that field, and the guy that makes the least amount is going to come up on the top of the scoreboard.
Bell gives it to Mills off the left side, and he moves the pile down to about the 25-yard line.
Picks up about 6 or 7 on that play. That was just a good drive by the offensive line, driving in there. Bell again coming through with great running ability.
Malcolm Goodwin made the stop.
2nd and 4. Ball for 25.
Again, watch Malcolm Goodwin coming back in right underneath there. But Mills keeps on driving those legs.
That looks like a Pringle run off where the pile moves.
It really did.
Mills again straight ahead. He's going to sleep good tonight. Gets it down to about the 21.
The thing about this is what happens if you weigh about 200 pounds, which Troy Mills does, about 212. With all the water he has in him, he's probably about 240 right now.
Looks like he's enjoying himself. After you get wet, you're wet, right? So you might as well just keep working at it.
Lots of jumping.
Get dry at halftime.
Do a little slide like Dempsey used to do.
Bringing in the sticks here. I think they're a little short. Quite a bit short. Haven't been real close on these measurements.
Now here's another coaching decision right here. Do they take the chip shot for the field goal, or do they try to go for the first down and continue this drive? It looks like they're going for it.
Mills 10 carries, 44 yards, and he'd be a pretty good bet here.
3rd and less than a yard.
Although last time in this situation they did give it to the fullback Tony Burse. They split out, and it's a quarterback sneak straight ahead for Kerwin Bell, and it looks like he's got that yard. First down.
Good, solid decision on that. Keep the least amount of movement of the ball around, because the quarterback just brings it up, tucks it in here. Watch him drive those legs in there.
Bell's not a little guy either, 6'3", 211, so you can give it a little push ahead when you need a half a yard.
Out of Florida.
Right behind center, Mike Kiselek from Maryland. The Maryland Terrapin over the ball at center there, number 63 looking at you. Bell gives it to Mills, breaks the tackle, all the way down to about the 12-yard line. Mills tackled. Ken Benson finally brought him down, number 38. And that's the end of the first quarter. So Baltimore's offense unable to get untracked here in the opening quarter. Sacramento on the move, and they're ahead 4-0. We'll return to Hornet Field right after this. Scott Garcon, Tom Matte back with you from Hornet Field in Sacramento. It's been raining the entire day. Sacramento on top 4-0, and they are driving. 2nd down and 2. We've got the ball on Baltimore's 12-yard line. Kerwin Bell, the quarterback, with a full house backfield. Now they shift out. Mills, the only running back, takes it, breaks out of a tackle. He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown, Troy Mills.
What a great run by Troy Mills on that one. Again, keeping his balance. He hit right up at the line of scrimmage and bounced back to the outside. Saw that hole and really headed for the end zone. Squared those shoulders off, Scott. Did a great job on it. Watch again. Right there. Hits in. Bayless gets a shot at him. Missed tackle there. Comes back to the outside. Right here, you can't make it.
And a good block on Charles Anthony to push him out of there.
Good block on Charles Anthony. This guy's a great running back. He's got almost 60 yards right now in rushing in the first, just at the end of the first quarter.
Roman Anderson on for the point after, out of the hold of Pete Gardere. Kick is up and good.
Kick is good.
Well, Scott, this is a wake-up call to the Baltimore offense right now. Some things have got to take place right now. One of them has to be is that Tracy Ham has got to be able to take charge of this ball game. If he does some semi-rollouts, sees that he can't run that ball, get it down the field, keep some first drive downs going here, some things have got to change offensively.
Troy Mills with the touchdown. It's now an 11-0 Sacramento lead. And here's another look at it. Runs into some traffic there and then kicks it outside. Got some blocks downfield, and The rest was almost easy.
Almost easy.
Ticket number 32.
Splish Splash, I was taking a bath on Saturday night.
I guess one of the advantages, you mentioned Tracy Ham, with his added dimension of being able to run. I don't think Kerwin Bell is a big threat to tuck it in and run, but Tracy can certainly do some things. Quarterback draws, some waggles outside.
Exactly.
And you put a little extra pressure on the defense.
And if by doing that, he will be able to open up some of those pass patterns.
Mike Pringle back to return kickoffs. It said they wouldn't use Mike for that tonight. And Anderson's kick doesn't go out of bounds. It hits in the puddle and stays in. Pringle, and down he goes. They take the legs out from under him at about the 18. And some good coverage and a pretty good break for Sacramento, because that ball was going out of bounds. It hit the puddle and stopped dead.
It didn't even plane on the puddle. Watch the ball here on this kickoff. It just hits that water there and just settles up. It's inbound, so Mike has got to pick the ball up. Tries to break back to the wide side of the field here, and just good coverage by the defense.
So quite a different perspective on field position. If that ball goes out of bounds, it stays in, and now they start on about the 18. First down and 10. And from the shotgun. There's three wide receivers on the left side. And looking to throw on first down. Over the middle, incomplete. Good coverage. Tried to get it to Chris Armstrong, and they were all over him.
Good coverage by Sacramento that time. Throwing into double coverage. Two men right there. Tom Gerhardt and Malcolm Frank right on the coverage. Did great job of coming over the middle. Chris Armstrong coming in a post pattern. Tracy stepping up in the pocket that time.
So now they're looking at 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass. Haven't had much luck on first down so far. And to throw. Has some time. Now they close in down the middle. Incomplete. Not sure who that was intended for.
I think he was throwing that one away.
Here's a look at that last Sacramento scoring drive. Of course, Mills took it in for the touchdown. 5 plays, 80 yards, and they only used up 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Mills on the 12-yard touchdown, and now Baltimore forced to punt. Josh Miller standing inside his 5. Third punt of the game for Josh. Rod Harris and Marcus Dowdle. Deep for the gold miners. Miller with a good kick. Harris from his 43. Trying to get his feet out from under him, and now he's given ground. He's in trouble. Still on his feet. Now he gets a block. Tries to turn the corner, and Stan Petrie. Oh my gosh.
What a clip back here by number 97, Stan Petrie. Woo! Did he get nailed?
And what a shower on the tackle. Petrie was submerged. He was on the deep end of the pool there.
Oof. Here's another look at it. Watch 97 nail him from the backside.
Now watch this part.
Oh.
Great shot.
Oh my God. Great camera coverage, guys.
Maurice Miller. We should take our hats off to our crew out there that have been battling these conditions all day. There goes Petrie.
I'll tell you, if you're on the sideline, you're going to drown.
I think we got splashed up here a little on that one. So Maurice Miller called for the illegal block, and that's really a break. Josh Miller standing inside of his 5 punting, and now Sacramento will start first down and 10 on their own 30.
Big break, put it back that far.
And a good punt got it started, and good coverage. And maybe not a good decision by Harris, as he gave a lot of ground. Play action fake. Bell sets the throw. Fires upfield. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play.
Carl Anthony again right on top of him. Good post pattern back to the inside. The ball was thrown a little bit high by Bell.
David Gamble was the intended receiver. Just released last week by the Eagles.
Yeah, he's had some good years with the Eagles.
Second down and 10. Clock running. 12:50 to play in the first half. Sacramento 11. Baltimore 0.
The defense now has got to come up with a big play here.
From the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. Throws underneath the Mills, and he dropped it. Incomplete. And here comes the punt team.
This should give Baltimore some pretty good position on this, but watch again on this, the rush by the defense, putting pressure on Bell. Alfred Payton coming back from the inside right there, all the way from the back, getting a little shot on him.
Just to let him know he's in the neighborhood.
He's in the neighborhood. He just did a little tap on the shoulder. Here again, you'll see him, Alfred Payton coming from the backside. This is just a drop ball. Mills was running before he looked it in.
Gardere, 3 punts, 48.7 average, so he's hit him good here in the early going. Good snap. Another good kick. Lester Smith has to come cross-field, and it's out of bounds just beyond the 30-yard line. So Baltimore will take over with 12:16 to play in the half.
That looks like some of my wedge
You want
shots.
to play, right?
Going in through the water, taking those bounces.
All right, timeout down on the field. We return to Hornet Field right after this.
Hey, welcome back here to Sacramento. Again, give us a call there at 554-1040 for tickets for the November 12th playoff game in Baltimore, 4 o'clock next Saturday.
Let's see if that Baltimore offense can get on track, Tom. First down and 10 from the 30, and I believe they were offside. They were. Now Ham loses the handle, picks it up, and he'll have to scramble. Gets a big block, throws it back to the middle, incomplete, and boy, that thing was just sloppy right from the get-go, and looked like one of the wideouts down on the near side, Tom, was about 4 yards beyond the line of scrimmage at the snap.
Just went right past the line of scrimmage, and these are the kind of mistakes that you can't make at the end of the season. Again, right there, Tracy Ham trying to throw the ball, loses the handle on them, breaks back to the outside. Watch this block by Tui Paluto on 94. He just nails him. And again, Tracy throwing across the green to Walter Wilson, and it's just a duck ball. It's an option ball, we used to call it.
Penalty decline. Second down and 10. So again, nothing on first down. Saw the numbers on Ham. Only 1 of 6 here in the early going. Avoids the rush. Now trying to run it wide. Still looking upfield, and down he goes at about the 36, short of a first down.
But I think he got his face mask.
Flag down on the far sideline. George Bethune. George Bethune called for the penalty.
Again, watch George Bethune come right over the top, grabs Tracy's face mask there for the tackle. The official right on top of it. Picks up a big penalty and keeps this drive alive for Baltimore.
Well, he realized to try to let go, but it was too late.
Face mask, Sacramento, first down.
And a costly penalty indeed for the goal miners, because that would have forced a Baltimore punt. The drive alive out across the 50.
Field's getting sloppier and sloppier out there,
especially between the hash marks. All chewed up, I think. Alexander to the near side, at the bottom of your screen. First down and 10. This is Pringle through the middle and across midfield into Sacramento territory, down to about the 54-yard line.
Picks up about 4 yards on the play. Again, that's just running straight out blocking. Pringle picks his own hole. George Bethune on the tackle.
Mike pretty muddied up here as is anybody else that's hit the ground tonight.
This is what he needs, 177 yards to break the all-purpose record. He already broke the other rushing record.
Yards from scrimmage, right? Fake to Pringle, and down he goes, and what a defensive play by number 73, Mark Ledbetter. He was the only man that really read the play, and Tracy just couldn't shake Ledbetter. He faked most of them, Tom.
He sure did. It was a great fake, but there he is. Comes in with the one-arm tackle.
And if Ledbetter doesn't stay home, Tracy's got nothing but grass
in front of the run.
So it's Sacramento making the plays here in the first half. And again, Josh Meller on to punt. Line of scrimmage, the 47 after the loss on the tackle by Ledbetter. Snap is good. This is Harris. And down he goes. Nice tackle by Anthony. Charles Anthony down in a hurry on the coverage.
First down, goal miners.
And the gold miners will take over.
Well, somebody's got to bring some life back into the Baltimore team right now. It's going to be up to the defense. Offense hasn't done anything out there that's been spectacular. The ball is very tricky to handle, Scott. These are conditions that you don't like to play in, but you have to. And this game is a must for Baltimore if they want to be able to have that 2-game home field advantage.
Remember, this is an offense that scored 115 points in the last 2 games, and right now they've got a big goose egg up there. And Mills plows straight ahead, gets up near the 30-yard line.
Picks up almost 5 yards again. The big offensive line of Sacramento right across there. You know, you take a look at all these teams in the CFL. The offensive lines are all big guys, 280, 288, 290, 290, and 280 right across the front there. Not quite as big as Baltimore's line, but these guys are flying there. And Mills is having the opportunity to pick his holes.
He got 5, second down and 5. The shotgun back to Mills again, and he's out near the 34, just short of the 35-yard line.
And that will put him in a funny position. Good job by the defense again, sliding off the blocks there and making the tackle. Bayless comes right through and reads this perfectly, slides right off, comes back from the backside, right on top of him. Number 98, Gerald Bayless, who was the Defensive Player of the Year last year for the CFL.
Sheldon Canley and Lester Smith back deep, awaiting the punt from Pete Gardere. There's Lester Smith. Canley over on the other side as they have twin safeties. That's a pretty good move in this kind of weather, right? You don't want that ball to get a chance to roll down.
This Pete Gardere is probably one of the premier punters and one of the best kickers. Does both.
Gardere drives it downfield again. Smith has to backpedal, takes it at the 30. Straight ahead. Now he lost the ball. He lost the handle and a big pile. And it's just a matter of who can dig it out of that pile. All the Sacramento players pointing their way.
Yes.
Baltimore ball. Baltimore has recovered down at the bottom of that pile. That's not necessarily who gets it first, it's who gets it last.
Who gets it last, because everybody's on top of him. You find out the stronger guys really can do it. Watch here as he comes through. He's trying to make a cut, and his knee knocks it right out of him.
And
now it gets kicked around. It bounces out on the other side over there, and that's when you dig and fight and scrape and scratch, and whoever has the strongest arm gets the ball.
Well, the man who dropped it, Lester Smith, is the man who recovered it. We got a timeout call. Sacramento 11, Baltimore nothing. Welcome back to Sacramento. The Gold Miners on top of Baltimore at 11-0. 8:20 to play in the first half. First down and 10 for Baltimore. Ham gives it off to Pringle, and some room for Mike. Plows ahead across the 45. Got about 8.
A good, strong running by Pringle again that time. But if you really take a look at how he's carrying that ball right now, he's got both arms wrapped around it, because it's like glass out there. The ball is so wet. But watch how he holds on to this. He covers it up with both hands. As soon as he gets into a crowd, he's going to cover that ball up.
Nick Subis and Keith Ballard blowing their guys back, giving Mike Pringle some room that time. Second down and about a yard. 9 more for Pringle as he closes in on 2,000. Mike with the handoff, and he lost yardage and may have lost the football. He scrambled down there. Good penetration by the front of the Sacramento defense. Leonard Nelson in there to make the hit.
And Mark Ledbetter again coming across, number 73. Again, Pringle, no place to run that there, but right down the bottom in the left-hand corner, see number 73, Mark Ledbetter, leading the tackle.
Never did lose the football.
No.
He had the football. Now they're bringing the sticks. I'll be surprised if he picked up the first down. Well short. That's about a 2 yards short. You wouldn't think they'd have to bring in the sticks. Now Don Matthews has a decision, and it'll be to punt.
No decision with that much, with this kind of a field condition. I think it's just absolutely imperative that you pin them back there and get the ball back. There's still plenty of time left in the second quarter here. But you take a chance like that and come up short, Scott, you put your defense at a real disadvantage.
Mike Pringle has now rushed for 63 yards, 26 short of the 2,000 mark. Rod Harris back deep and single safety for the punt of Josh Miller. Low snap. Miller gets it. It's a deep line punt from the 14. Harris. And he's down at about the 25.
Good coverage, and again, good pickup by Josh Miller, picking up that snap, getting down, picking the ball up, driving it through this rain and getting it down there and putting Sacramento in bad field position. They're back at about the 25-yard line.
It's a 49-yard punt from Josh Miller. Kerwin Bell a little in a hurry. Started out on the field, still had his warm-up on, Tom. Here's some guys that were honored this past week, and we'd like to congratulate Sharp Ordonish, named the most outstanding offensive lineman in the East. Matt Goodwin, the rookie that's been so good on defense and special teams, top rookie, and Mike Pringle, the most outstanding player in the East. All of these players now eligible for the league honors. And this is Mills, and he goes down in a hurry.
Great defense again, moving laterally like right there. Pressberry coming through and making the tackle. One of the real leaders on the team defensively on tackles. He and Gravely are the two guys right up at the top there making tackles, and also on the sacks.
Loss of 2 on the play, second down and 12. 6:25 left in the first half. Only touchdown has been scored by Troy Mills. Roman Anderson has added a field goal. And then a single also as well. From the shotgun on second and 12. Pressure, steps up, now has some room to run. 30, still on his feet, and looks like he's got a first down across the 35. He used his size there, Tom, to get a couple extra yards.
He laid himself out on that. Kerwin Bell, 6'3", 211 pounds. Watch how he steps up. Sees there's nobody open. Good coverage. And again, this big, long, lanky guy just runs him over, picks up the first down.
That was Lester Smith who made the first contact with Kerwin Bell, but he got a couple of yards after the hit, and that was enough to get the first down. Now they hand it off to Mills. Mills on the left side, just gets a couple. Good job over there. Ken Benson in on the hit, as well as O.J. Brigance.
They're starting to contain Mills a little bit more. The defensive line moving very well laterally, just along there, holding, containing their blocks, sliding, and making the tackle. Mills only picks up about 2 on that one, puts him in a good second down situation. Second down, about 8 yards.
5 minutes to play in the second half. Shotgun snap. Flips it off to Mills. Makes a move back to the inside. Check it. That's Tony Burse. Bayless on the tackle, and he's close to a first down.
He's got the first down in a second effort by him. Just a little dump out pass there with everybody going downfield and letting the back sort of slip right underneath the coverage, Scott. You'll watch him set up here in the shotgun. Just a little dump pass out there all by himself. And again, watch the extra effort on his running. Kept good balance and then lunged forward for the first down.
It's first down and 10. Bell under center. Back to throw. Now starts running up the middle, and a short gain on the play. He's dragged down from behind. Gets up to about the 49-yard line. Malcolm Goodwin made the stop. And a note now that Matt Goodwin, with a right thigh contusion, is out for the game. That's not going to help that defense. Matt Goodwin.
That's not going to help that defense at all. That kid's an athlete that's all over the field, making tackles, blocking punts, does it all.
Second down and 7. Up they come. Campbell split to the near side of the field. Now Harris in motion to the wide side. Bell looks out, complete to Harris. Puts a move on his man, and he's close to a first down. Rod Harris. That's their top receiver. Harris on the year, 79 catches for over 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Again, what he's doing, he's going with the high percentage stuff. He's taking the short passes, Scott. He's taking advantage of the field conditions right now, getting the coverage, getting the guys underneath the coverage, sending a couple guys deep, and letting the guys either come underneath the coverage or the back slipping to the outside. High percentage passes.
See the first downs there. Sacramento with a big edge, 8-3. Anytime you can get a guy one-on-one over on the sidelines in the flat in this kind of condition, the guy with the ball's got a pretty good advantage.
He knows what he can do.
Inside handoff to Mills, pops through, still on his feet, inside the 40, all the way down to about the 36 or 37-yard line.
Brigance on the tackle on that one. Again, Mills keeping his balance, having a great game running today.
So Troy Mills on a quick hitter. Inside the 3-minute mark now, the 3-minute warning with 2:40 to play in the first half. Sacramento on the move, and they're on top, 11-0. All right, Mark Ledbetter on the sidelines here. We're back, first down and 10, Sacramento. Bell nearly lost the handle, but hangs in there and completes it to Harris. But he's tackled immediately at the 33-yard line. Tracy Gravely.
Gravely coming right across. Again, good coverage. But again, this guy Harris is the leading receiver on this team, and it just comes right across from the backside, and again goes up for the ball. High percentage passes, short passes. No longer than 5 to 7 yards as he's throwing the ball. And with a ball this wet, that's all you can take advantage of. You've got to be able to move that ball, take it in bits and pieces, and not in big.
6 yards on the pass to Harris, second down and 4.
Look for Mills on this.
Bell sets up, throwing to the wide side of the field, and a big hit. Coming up in a hurry was Charles Anthony. Ooh, that's short of a first down. Harris paid the price on that. Look at Bell, says, hey, that's all we need. Let's go for it. It's third down and about 1.5 yards, Tom.
1.5 yards.
Here comes Roman Anderson, the field goal kicker. Kay Stevenson says, hey, 3 might be mighty big in this game.
That's right. That'll put them up 14-0, which is 2 touchdowns.
Anderson
has
already
all kinds of different ways.
Anderson has already hit a field goal of 38 yards. This one will come from about 39. No, they're going to mark it at about the 38-yard line. So a 38-yard attempt from Roman Anderson. Came into the game at 74% on the year, 37 of 50s, now 38 of 51 for the season. Now a whistle and
too much time.
Came from the back judge, so let's see what the call is. 5 yards under these conditions might be a lot, Tom.
Oh, he's putting it back down again. Let's see what he has to say.
Case Stevenson hot over on the side. Looked like a happy man. Well, we'll hear the call now.
Time count violation, Sacramento number 14, third down repeated.
Well, you heard it, a time count violation, so it will cost the Gold Miners 5.
No,
10.
Anytime you're inside that 3-minute warning, a delay of game costs you 10 yards.
So now it's a 48-yard attempt. Anderson with the foot into it, and it is no good. Hit the upright. Anderson from 48 yards out hits the upright, and Baltimore gets a break there after the delay of game cost him 10. 1:33 to play in the half. 11-0 Sacramento on top. Tom, it's a game of inches, and Roman Anderson just missed by an inch here.
Whoa.
Just hit the right upright.
This could be the worm, though. I'll tell you one thing. It's turning right now for Baltimore. They've got to take advantage of that. They got away. That field goal would have been good, a 48-yarder.
And they don't have much time. Only 1:33 left in the half. The offense has been shut out. It's Sacramento 11. Ham from the shotgun gives to Pringle. Defense looking for Mike. Short gain on the play and a penalty marker down.
Holding against Baltimore.
Maurice Miller on the stop.
Penalty marker down.
Holding. Baltimore number 51. First down repeat.
Call goes against center Nick Subis. Here it is, Tom. What's holding look like? Here's what it looks like.
Watch Subis right here. It's a takedown over there, number 50. Watch it. It's a little stranglehold on him, 51. Takes 94 down. Curtis Moore is a little tackled on that one, so 10-yard penalty.
And Ham will go from the shotgun. He sets up on about the 6-yard line, feels the pressure, now throws upfield, and it's incomplete. Try to get it to Walter Wilson. A splash, but no catch. Bobby Humphrey on the coverage.
Again, 1:21 remaining in this first half. We're giving him plenty of time. If they stop this one again, you'll be able to see Ham setting up in here, throwing the ball. Again, watch the splash. I don't see how Walter could catch it because the water was probably in his eyes. Whoa. Right underneath the cover.
Tom, 2nd and 20, and if they can't pull something off here, Sacramento's going to have a good shot at getting back on the board. And in the pocket, throwing deep for Alexander. And it is incomplete, covered back there by Malcolm Frank. He was right with him. And that'll force a Baltimore punt with 1:14 left.
Plenty of time remaining in this half for Sacramento to not only get good field position, but to be able to put some points on the board because they've got such a great field goal kicker.
Haven't seen a lot of short throws, right, Tom?
This is the thing,
the swing pass, the screens, those kind of things.
That's where Tracy has got to make some adjustments at halftime here, is he's got to take it in bits and pieces, very similar to what Bell is doing, the quarterback for Sacramento. Take what they're giving you.
Josh Miller has had a good first half punt. He gets off another good one, driving Harris back. Harris averaged over 47 yards a punt. Harris just kind of ducks it down right near midfield. So Sacramento will have excellent field position. They're at their own 54 with 1:05 left in the half. Charles Anthony down on the coverage for Baltimore. Now the defense has their backs to the wall here. They can't afford to give up much more in this kind of a game, Tom, because it's obvious this isn't going to be one of those 45-42 games.
No, it is not. This reminds me a lot of the game the NFL had last week on Monday night, which was the driving rain and chilly conditions. It's not quite as chilly out there.
It's like Jason and his buddy.
Jason and his buddy's
fan appreciation.
Fan appreciation.
49-yard
I
punt
thought was over.
8 yards on the return from Harris. And this is Bell from the shotgun. Goes underneath to Mills, double dribbles, but makes the catch right at midfield at the 55.
No gain, basically maybe 1 yard gain on it. Again, going with the high percentage stuff. If he breaks the tackle, Mills breaks that tackle, he'll be able to come up with a good first down play, get him down in field goal position.
Mills caught that one twice, give him 2 receptions. See the time left as Kay Stevenson looks on. Under a minute, low snap, but Bell handles it. Down the middle, it is complete to Harris, and he's down to the Baltimore 40-yard line. That's Rod Harris. That's the favorite target on this team. Ken Benson on the stop. Clock running, and they'll run the hurry-up offense with 49 seconds left.
Again, Bell setting up in the pocket, finds Harris hooked up right underneath the coverage. Comes up with the big first down.
Bell set, looking deep for Harris. It is incomplete. Cutting across in a hurry on the coverage there was Michael Brooks, the free safety.
I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind who the favorite receiver is on this team, and Harris is a guy that has the good hands, and I'd put double coverage on this character.
Not a whole lot different than Baltimore's offense. It's Mills playing the role of Pringle and Harris playing the role of Armstrong.
Exactly. Kerwin Bell right there, you see his stats, 6'3", 210, good size guy, good pocket passer, doesn't have the mobility of a Tracy Ham, but can read the defenses very well.
You hit 6 in a row until that last incompletion, throwing down the middle, and it's incomplete, and that looked like it was a catchable ball. Marcus Dowdle couldn't hang on.
Oof.
Carl Anthony on the coverage.
And the field goal team comes on the field. Again, watch him stepping up. Bell stepping in the pocket. Ball thrown right in there. Those are you kind. That's hearing footsteps, baby. He ducked his head and everything. He didn't want any part of that ball.
They're going to hit you anyway. You might as well catch it,
but
right,
see,
Tom?
you know, the defensive back, if I'm back there, I nail him. You just hit him anyway.
Well, we know he got one there from 48 that hit the upright. This will be a 47-yard attempt. Roman Anderson. Pick is up, plenty of foot into that one. It's wide, and Lester Smith's going to bring it out. He's at the 10, comes up the near sideline to the 20, still on his feet, and knocked into the river at about the 30.
Great return, and
avoids the single.
And avoids the single, and also, if you look at Anthony was down there, he had a chance for a clip there. He just stood there and just
made a good play,
made
right?
a good play by not hitting anybody. But you can drown on the sideline.
Into the Sacramento River.
Watching.
Here he goes. Oof. Get the paddles out, gang.
Oh, God.
First down, Baltimore.
41 yards on the return. So Lester Smith took it into the end zone and brought it back to about the 32-yard line, just across the 32. Only 21 seconds left, so let's see how Don Matthews wants to use the remaining seconds, and Tracy Ham drops a knee, and they're happy to just run out the clock here without any further damage in the first half.
Tracy Ham down in the ball.
No move on Sacramento's part to stop the clock.
They still have one timeout left, and so does Baltimore, but I think they're just happy right now to get off this field, only down by 11, and make some adjustments at halftime. Scott, there's going to be something that's really, they're going to have to do something to be able to take the bits and pieces.
At halftime, we'll take a special look at Mike Pringle's spectacular season, and we'll hear from Ken Murray, the beat writer from the Sun Papers. He's followed this team from the first day. So that's the half. Some wet fans here cheer their gold miners in what could be the very last game for this franchise in Sacramento, but so far it's going good for the locals. Sacramento 11, Baltimore nothing. We'll return to Hornet Field right after this. Well, welcome back to Sacramento. It's been a miserable night in more ways than one for Baltimore. The weather has been dreary, 50 degrees at kickoff. We've had a driving rain the entire day. You can see what kind of, that is on the field, folks. That's on the field to play.
That's not off the field. That's where what's his name, almost Petrie almost drowned over there.
Tom, what kind of adjustments do you see if you're Baltimore's offense? Because the defense has pretty much been on the ball, but when you got 0 on the scoreboard, you got to change things offensively or do things better.
They have to. Offensively, they've got to go in that locker room. They got to sit down and say, how can we take advantage of this defense? We've got to take little bits and pieces. We can't take the big plays that we're used to getting back in Baltimore in dry, wonderful world, warm weather and all that kind of stuff. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take a little bit of screens, a few draws, a little flare passes out to the side, get the backs, Tui Peluto, Pringle, get them the ball in their hands, let them make the adjustments, and then they can make the runs. If they break a tackle, it keeps the drive going.
Well, quickly the scoring, Anderson hit a 38-yard field goal to make it 3-0. Then they added a rouge on a Gardere punt, 4-0, and then put together a spectacular drive. They went 80 yards in 5 plays in just over 2 minutes, and Troy Mills capped it off with a 12-yard run. Anderson converted the point after to make the score 11-0 Sacramento. Now, we've talked a lot about Mike Pringle. He's been named the outstanding player in the East in the first half. He's closing in on 2,000 yards. He came into this game with 1,901 yards. Let's take a closer look at the man who's carried the football so well for Baltimore, Mike Pringle.
O.J. did it. Eric Dickerson did it better 11 years later. And Herschel Walker did it the next year in the USFL. Now Mike Pringle is looking at that magic number.
That's a special number right there. Well, 1,000 yards is a special number, but 2,000 is something that I don't think too many running backs even dare to think of. And if I'm able to accomplish that and against Sacramento, I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
15 on his feet, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown. Mike Pringle with a great run.
He was a throw-in in a trade that we didn't know enough about him, didn't even start him the first game. That's how smart we were. So as we got a little bit better acquainted and found out his skills, just handing him the ball helps us win football games in a big way.
He's not big at 6 feet, 190 pounds. He doesn't have blazing speed, but what he does have is great balance and a big heart.
I love to run people over. DBs, linebackers, defensive line, I don't care if they're in front of me. I just like to run them over. And you know, I'm not the fanciest footed back, but I can make a defender miss.
He's a lot like Emmitt Smith. He's small. He's got a low center of gravity, and he's got very strong legs. His great leg strength, and so it's hard to bring him down around the legs or up top. So you almost have to just knock his feet out from under him to get him down.
And I was lucky enough to have been taught well at a young age to always keep your feet driving and never let one man bring you down. And you know, that's what I've been taught since I've been playing Pop Warner football, and I just try to keep that in my game.
Probably of his 1,900 yards, about 900 of them have been on extra effort on his part. He just is a great back that has a determination of not going down after he gets hit.
He's done more than establish a new single-season CFL rushing record. He's caught some key passes and returned kickoffs. 2,000 yards isn't the only magic number for number 27.
3,300 all-purpose yards. That really tells it all about Mike's year. The rushing, the pass receiving, and the kickoff returns. That combination, last time it was achieved by Mike Clements, he won the MVP of the league.
He's been the most remarkable player in this most remarkable season. On the team with no name, Mike Pringle is putting his name front and center into the record books.
But I always had confidence in myself. I mean, from day one, I thought that I would be able to do some things out here. And, as I watched my offensive line block and the intensity that they had out there, I just felt more comfortable, and I knew that they can get the job done.
So Mike Pringle now just 36 yards away from 2,000, and we'll keep an eye on that in the second half. Sacramento on top, 11-0. We'll return with Ken Murray from the Sun Papers right after this. Welcome back to Hornet Field. 11-0 the halftime score. The Gold Miners on top of Baltimore. With us, Ken Murray, beat writer for the Sun Paper. Nobody's covered this team closer than Ken has. Let me ask you this. No matter what happens here tonight, Kenny, they'll be home for a playoff game next week. What do you think the capabilities are of this team in the second season?
I don't think there's any question they should win that first game against whomever they play. The question is, if they lose this game, can they win in Winnipeg? And that's a very big question. I'm not sure that they can.
What about this thing here tonight? A little not exactly ideal conditions, right?
It's not very good conditions. Everything's conducive to a letdown. I mean, after you play a game like they played last week, it's only natural that you have a letdown. And I think what we're seeing is the residual of that. I think it's the effect of the very bad field. But Sacramento's playing in the same field, and they've been able to move the ball. Baltimore hasn't.
Good points. A lot of talk around here about this franchise moving on to Oakland next year. What do you see the league looking like, and with more expansion into the States next season?
Well, I expect both Sacramento and Vegas to move. I think the probability is that they'll go to San Antonio and Birmingham. I think they want to try to add Memphis. Oakland, actually Sacramento will go to Oakland, but I think the other two will be Memphis and San Antonio. So I think we'll seed 4 new American cities. I think that'll give us the old USFL look. I think that'll make it a little more credible in the States.
And how about now the sprinklers are running down on the field, Ken?
just what they needed, yeah, a little.
You think this is maybe a little, they shut them down. I thought maybe it was a little ploy on Sacramento's
It's like
part.
watering the base paths, I think.
What about this game tonight? I guess a team couldn't play much better than Baltimore has the last 2 weeks in the wins over BC and Winnipeg.
Right, they're going to have to pick it up, whatever it is, whether it's intensity. I think the play calling needs to be a little bit better in the second half. I think they have to have a little better idea in what they're doing with the passing game. But basically, Sacramento's outplaying them. I don't think they've matched the intensity that Sacramento has, which is probably the biggest surprise to me. And the 2 turnovers definitely are the difference there.
When you look back at what this team has accomplished in their first year, I guess a lot of credit has to go to Don Matthews. He put his imprint on this team, put the coaching staff together, and brought in the players that he thought could win.
He's responsible for where they are now. He's no question. He's the guy that's done it all.
All right, Kenny, get your umbrella.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by, and watch out. Those sprinklers might be back on. Halftime score, not looking good for Baltimore. Sacramento 11, Baltimore nothing. We'll return with the second half right after this. Just about set for the second half. Sacramento Gold Miners on top of Baltimore 11-0. Tom, let's take a look at some of the weather. John Madden would love this game because it's been one splash after another.
And this is what you call safe.
Stan Petrie right over there with a little shower along with Rod Harris. And then a costly turnover here. Mike Pringle, who's done so many good things all year, the outstanding player in the East, lost his grip on the football. Sacramento recovered, and then they put together a scoring drive with Troy Mills, who's had a good first half, running it in.
Mills having a great first half again right here, giving the stiff arm, breaking back to the outside, putting a good move on here, lowering that shoulder, just diving in for the end zone, getting the touchdown.
Mills, 17 carries, 86 yards in the first half, and that touchdown, he came in with over 1,000 first downs. Baltimore only 3 compared to 10 for Sacramento. 17 passing yards for Baltimore.
And the time of possession again there. Again, what you see Sacramento is doing is taking the short stuff that they're giving them underneath the coverages and keeping possession of the ball. They're keeping Tracy Ham off the field. 11:02 to 11 minutes to 19 minutes basically. That's, you know, it's ridiculous to be able to have that kind of ball control.
Well, Sacramento knocked off Baltimore at Memorial Stadium back on September 10th. Baltimore's won 6 of 7 since, but they're in trouble here as we start the second half. Kick coming to the near side and again skips into the water. It does not go out of bounds. Pringle over to pick it up. Mike stays on his feet and gets up close to the 40-yard line. So Mike Pringle, who we did not think would be returning kickoff returns tonight because of that injured groin muscle, has been back and has returned a couple now. Hurley Brown made the stop. And Tracy Ham will have some pretty good field position.
Pretty good field position is right. Again, watch where that ball, it just lays in that puddle, so he has to pick it up. It doesn't go out of bounds. And again, he makes a good run right here. And this was a good shot. Pringle got a little upset, but for no reason on that one. They were holding him up, not trying to hurt him.
The first down and 10. Baltimore on the 38-yard line, and this is Pringle trying to get up the middle. Off a right guard, got about 3 or 4. Mike came in with 3,124 all-purpose yards. Pinball Clemens has the all-time CFL record at 3,300 yards. All-purpose would include kickoff returns, pass receptions, and running yardage. They gave him 5 on that carry. Second down and 5. Willie Fears made the stop. And from the shotgun.
Again, take the short stuff.
Overthrows, and it's picked out. Intercepted, and finally the tackle by Alexander. Maurice Miller on the pit. And Sacramento, whatever momentum Baltimore was hoping to regain, snuffed it out with the interception from Maurice Miller.
Again, you'll be able to see this here. Tracy Ham setting up in the pocket, looking right over the middle, pumps, tries to lay it up a little high for Tui Peluto. It looks like interceptions picked off, run back.
And it looked like Tracy short-armed that ball, Tom, just looking at the replay there.
Yes, he sure did.
Just kind of guided it. They have an injured player getting some attention. There's Maurice Miller, who made the interception. Here's Ham in the pocket. The throw, the interception, and the hit. We're going to step out. 14 minutes to play in the third quarter. Sacramento on top, 11-0. They've got the football. Keith Ballard, the injured player, and he's been helped off the field as you look at the interception from Maurice Miller. And that's a tough way to start your first offensive possession, Tom, when you've been having trouble with the offense. Miller with a little
dance after here.
Interception. Troy Mills on the carry.
Not much gain on that one. Defense rising to the occasion. Mike Pringle came out just before the start of the staff here and talked to the defense and said, hey, listen, guys, it looked like he was saying a little speech over there. You hold them here, we'll get back in the ball game.
Mills got 2 on that last carry. Second down and 8. Bell from the shotgun. Puts some pressure, throws back across, and it's picked up. Open field in front of Watson. He's at the 50, the 55, and finally knocked out of bounds. Ken Watson with the pick. A penalty marker down. And Baltimore answers the interception with one of their own. Ken Watson, the left halfback from Livingstone, stepped up and picked off the Kerwin Bell pass. Tommy went back across field. That's a tough throw.
Boy, was that a tough throw, and throwing against the grain right there. It's just it's almost impossible in these kind of conditions, Scott, to be able to throw that. But you can't put any zip on the ball. You can't hold it tight.
Now Harris runs in there. There's Ken Watson, who made that big play that might put a spark in this offense, and now they're trying to sort out this penalty call. Watson anxious to get the verdict.
I don't.
Kerwin Bell has his
Officials
warm-up
seem to
on.
be confused down there on this call. Let's see what happens. They're trying to sort it out right now, and it looks like there's almost mass confusion. They're having a town meeting down there right now with both teams both on the field, and the penalty looks like that they're going to call back the interception.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Baltimore. Face mask. Sacramento. Sacramento's ball.
It's basically down over, Tom. It looks like we've got two penalties called there. Looked like they called pass interference against Baltimore. And I'll tell you what, if it was against Watson, he's playing the ball all the way there. That's a bad call.
I don't even.
There's
see
the
this.
face mask. You saw the face mask on the end of the play. No doubt about that. But Watson's playing the football here. He's certainly on the replay there, playing the ball all the way. Now, it could have been called against somebody else, but sure looked like Watson made a clean play on the ball.
I just, the only thing I could see was Irvin Smith behind him was guarding one of the offensive receivers down there, and it looked like the flag was thrown deep. So that's the only thing I could think of could have possibly happened.
2nd and 13. So the interception taken away from Baltimore. Bell's going deep, but he gets hit as he throws, and it hangs up and nearly intercepted. A good effort down there. Bell looks like he may have hurt his hand.
He came down on the top of that. He hit the helmet right. His hand hit right on the top of the helmet. That's what happened to Archer when he fractured his thumb. Watch him right here again, just as he gets hit.
There was Irvin Smith downfield trying to play the ball after it popped up like a dying quail. Looked like he grabbed his down on the wrist, and here comes a field goal attempt now from Roman Anderson, trying to add to an 11-0 lead. It's a 45-yard attempt. Gardere, the holder, good snap. Picks this up, and it is short.
And hits the goalpost again, Scott.
It hit the crossbar, I think, this time. So he's had some tough luck. Roman Anderson hit the upright in the first half, and this time from 45 yards out. It was a pretty good pop of mud and water. Here's a look.
Again, watch, it hits just at the bottom of the base of the crossbar right there, and that is there's no one-pointer on it. The ball becomes dead at that issue, and the ball is brought out to the 25-yard line. Now, again, here's where Tracy Ham has got to take control of the ball game and be able to take what they're going to give him. Get the little stuff first, then we can go down and march and score a touchdown, get back in this ball game.
Ham gives to Pringle. Fort in front of him. And he lost the football. The ball is loose. Leonard Nelson on the hit.
Baltimore came up with the recovery on this, but you could see out there, the fans, you know, if you play in this kind of weather, it is so difficult to hold on to the ball. And whenever you're trying to have the extra effort that Pringle has all the time, I mean, he's given 150%. Again, you'll see him right here. Neil Ford out in front of him. Pringle's pushing. He loses the ball. It's just stripped from him right there. Who comes on in but the big guy, Mr.
Guy Earl.
Guy Earl, I think it was. Guy Earl jumped in there. Number 60.
Penalty markers all over his hands He's in trouble, and down he goes at about the 25.
Got holding against Baltimore again.
Willie Fears on the sack.
And it looks like either Neil Fort was holding.
Baltimore number 68. Declined, third down.
Sharp or Donish called, and they'll take the sack and decline the penalty. And Josh Miller on to punt again. He's had more business than Don Matthews would like him to have.
And he's done a great job of kicking today. In this kind of weather, with the average that he's having right now, it's been really unbelievable.
It's been a tough go of it for Baltimore in the field position game as well.
He's been averaging 47.5 yards per carry.
Bad snap, and Miller has to start running upfield and just does get it off. Does a good job, and a penalty marker down. They didn't give Harris enough room, and that'll go against Baltimore.
It was an unbelievable effort by Josh Miller to get that ball off, and you get the 5-yard penalty again. But again, watch, he goes down, he drops it there. That's his fault. What he sees is he sees the pressure coming and just takes off on it. Once you
no yard. Baltimore number 80, a 5-yard penalty. First down.
No yards, the call against Baltimore, as they didn't provide Harris with that 5-yard cushion. So great field position for the Gold Miners as they will start in Baltimore territory. First down and 10 on the Baltimore 53. 11-0 Sacramento, 10:44 to play in the third quarter. Mills straight ahead. He's got a clean uniform on, but not for long in that mud.
And good drive, leg drive fired out by the offensive line. All that is just power football right there. And Malcolm Goodwin coming in, making the tackle on the play. But again, Mills picking up a little over 5 yards. 6 yards will give him on the play.
Mills had 86 yards in the first half. He's headed for his third straight 100-yard game. 5 on that pickup, second down and 5.
The thing about Mills is he's been averaging 7.2 yards per carry all year long. That's a nice
pretty good
average.
percentage if you hand it to him, right? Back it goes to Mills. Spins across the 45 to about the 44. He's about 1.5 yards short of a first down.
Again, another major decision right here for Sacramento.
It's too long for a field goal.
I think it's too long for the field goal. Now, are they going to try?
Mills gets stripped out of the ball, but lost his headgear. There's a hand in there.
Little face mask
got away with one.
Boy, did he ever.
There's Troy Mills, Sacramento State, 6 feet, 212-pounder, and he comes to play. So now,
this is
Gardere is going to punt.
This is the guy that took the job from Pringle. Both two good running backs.
Baltimore hustling on their punt return team. Gardere has had a good night. 5 punts for 48.4 yards. Now some confusion out there. And now I think time maybe is run out. Tom Gerhardt was flapping his arms at the official.
I think there's a little confusion on both teams as to what team was supposed to be out there, the field goal team or the punt return team. So Baltimore made some adjustments, and here they go with the snap.
No penalty. Thought maybe the shot clock had run down. Play clock. Right there, booms one. Hanley going to run it out, but not far. And Baltimore's going to start on about their own 2-yard line. He avoided the single, but I'm not so sure you want to be starting on your own 2.
No, I think that Don Matthews might be a little upset with that one. Again, if you're in the end zone there, what you have to do is, it's only 1 point, it's 11-12. Doesn't mean anything, so I think that they'd have gotten the ball back out on the 35-yard line.
Rod Harris down to make the tackle. Baltimore right next to their own goalpost, trailing 11-0.
playoff football in Baltimore next weekend for the first time since 1977 when guys like Bruce Laird were running around
That's
town.
right. Give a call to 554-1040. We have operators are standing by to take your orders for the game on November the 12th at 4 o'clock.
Get that
call
free
in.
hat, too.
Get that free hat also.
Well, Tracy Ham and the offense have some work to do. They're starting on their own 2-yard line. And slammed immediately. Peter Tui Peloto, I believe it is.
Not
He hasn't
very
had
often.
much work.
He hasn't had very much opportunity to carry the ball. I think they're doing a mix-up on that one. But again, right here is where we have to come up with a play to get that first down and keep some kind of a drive going here. But they've got Baltimore deep in their territory, and you can't make any major mistake back here because it's a 7-point mistake.
Maybe a yard from Peter on that carry. Call it 2nd down and 9. Pringle sets up behind Tracy Ham. Tracy in the shotgun, and now Pringle comes to the right side. Back to throw from his end zone. Now steps upfield, throws and overthrows, incomplete. Not much there as the Gold Miners had good coverage on the franchise Walter Wilson, and again Josh Miller will come on to punt.
Josh Miller's getting his earning his paycheck tonight because he's doing a great job of punting and getting the ball off. Again, that time with Tracy Ham dropping back in the pocket, he steps up. He had some running room on that one, Scott. I thought he should have probably run it, and when he set up to throw the ball was so slippery it looked like it just popped out of his hand.
Rod Harris back deep. Harris averaging just under 10 yards of punt return on the year. He's at a 102-yard return. Miller's going to take the safety. So Miller elects not to punt it out of the end zone, and they'll give up the 2. It's now Sacramento 13-0. So when you look back at it, Tom, they didn't take the single.
Now they
wound up starting on the 2, and now they give up the 2 points. So it really kind of shows you that they probably should have given up the 1 before and started on the
35-yard line. Exactly.
So now you see the score 13-0. 7:44 to play in the 3rd quarter as the rain continues to fall. So they've scored by every means now, Tom.
Yes,
a single, a safety, a field goal, and a touchdown.
And the interesting part about it, Scott, it's only 13 points. Baltimore is still in the game with plenty of time. 7:44 remaining in the 3rd quarter with a whole 4th quarter to look forward to. And it's going to take a supreme effort right now by Baltimore.
The problem is when the offense can't get anything going, it's just a matter of time before that defense gets worn out too. They've been on the field a long time, so you really need to get a spark offensively. Even if you don't score a couple of first downs, move the chains and get something going.
Exactly. You know, you looked at the first quarter statistics and you look at the time of possession, 19 minutes for Sacramento and 11 minutes for Baltimore. So that defense is out there on the field really, you know, being tested. And in these kind of conditions, what it does is it really wears you down much quicker than if you're even playing in heat.
Mentally as well as
Yes.
physically. Iggy will kick it off. A difference between the CFL and American football and the NFL. The kickoff will come from the 35, not the 20. Downfield it goes. This is Charles Miles, 25, 30, and gets up to about the 37-yard line.
Not a bad return on that one, but again, it's a whole lot better than if they would have been inside the 50-yard line going in for the touchdown. At least they're deep in their own territory, and a great decision again by Don Matthews to take the safety.
Lester Smith on the tackle, a 22-yard return for Miles, and now Kerwin Bell and that Gold Miner offense go to work. Bell a little late getting back into the huddle. He was conferring with his coaches. There he is, Kerwin Bell, 6th-year pro out of Florida. Passed for over 7,500 yards and 56 touchdowns at Florida. Those were SEC records at the time. And he played for Don Matthews in '91 in the World League with Orlando. Quick out, complete, but perhaps a loss on the play of about 4 yards. So
not much happening there as Marcus Dowdle was dropped for the loss.
Again, a high percentage play, but that one backfired on him. Lost about 4 yards on it.
Maybe not high percentage in this weather.
Not in this, because you can't get your footing under you there. Stan Petrie in there for the tackle. And Gerald Bayless back out there, the big guy moving all the way out to the sideline. Big number 98.
Pretty good mobility, Tom.
He's got that quickness. He's 6 foot, 280 pounds, and he can move like a cat on that line of scrimmage.
And that completion, loss of 4, blitz picked up. Bell looking down the middle. It's complete to Harris. Across the 50, a first down at about the 52 or 53-yard line. And that time, they caught him in a blitz, Tom, and good blocking from Sacramento. They picked it up.
They picked up the blitz that time, and it was a good job by the offensive line. Here they come, all of them coming in, putting the pressure on him, but this time, Harris is out wide open on the post pattern, come up, make the tackle, tries to strip the ball here, but he's down before it pops out. That's a big, big offensive play by Sacramento. Scott gives them the first down after they had stopped him with a 4 or 5 yard loss on that first down play.
This is Mills on the right side. He's got himself a gain of about 4. Mills across the 55 into Baltimore territory. Malcolm Goodwin makes the stop. Malcolm's twin brother, Matt, left the game in the first half with a thigh contusion. He will not return, and we can only hope that he'll be ready to go in the first round of the playoffs next week.
Yeah, main rookie of the year in the Eastern Division. This kid is to me, in my estimation, is one of the best athletes we have on the field out there when he's playing.
Mills now 21 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Bell sets up, little flip complete, and a good spin back to the middle by Harris, and it looks like he's got a first down. So they got a good thing going. Kerwin Bell and Rod Harris.
But again, watch this, Scott. This is just a little flat pattern out there, and this guy knows what to do with the ball. He goes back against the grain. Everybody's pursuing him that way. All he has to do is come back. The arm tackles around and picks up the first down. This guy's a smart receiver, knows what to do when he has the ball. And the quarterback is taking the short passes. He's taking the bits and pieces, eating the clock up. We're down to 4:50 in the third period remaining.
Harris with 7 catches for 70 yards. It's Mills. Straight up the middle, lost the football, and I believe Baltimore says they've got it. It's Baltimore ball. Mills fumbles, and Baltimore recovers near the 45-yard line. And there's a break, and it'll give them pretty good field position, Tom Maddie.
Well, you know, Mills has been carrying that ball a little bit outside. Watch here, he gets the handoff inside, breaks back to the inside. The ball pops loose right there. Mills trying to get that extra effort again on his part, but Baltimore comes up with the ball, giving Baltimore great field position at about the 45, Scott.
Not sure who got the ball, Tom. We'll step out, a timeout, 4:37. 13-0, Sacramento on top. Welcome back to Sacramento. The rain continues to fall. 4:37. There's Malcolm Goodwin. He recovered that fumble. Darryl O'Drawlin, the assistant coach. Look at Malcolm yelling on, trying to get that offense going. Mike Pringle unofficially 28 yards away from the 1,000-yard mark, and that's Chris Armstrong on the completion. Gets about 8 yards.
Again, here's where they have to do, Scott, is they've got to go to the short passes, the low percentage ones that'll be able to get the completions and be able to pick up some good yards. He picks up 8 yards on the play.
Well, now the defense has to play pass or run. It's 2nd and 10.
Yes.
They're laying back looking for that pass. That's been the situation so many times, 2nd down and 10. This time it's 2nd down and 2, just short of midfield at the 53-yard line. And gives it to Mike Pringle, and I'm not sure, maybe on second effort he comes close, but it looks like he's a little short, Tom.
A little short, but this is a situation where I think that Don Matthews will go for the first down. Again, Pringle coming running up in there, gets stopped again, keeps those legs driving, but does get almost the first down, so it's going to be probably a measurement on this.
King and Nelson on the tackle for the Gold Miners.
Trying to strip that ball right out of there. The Gold Miners have been very good at that, stripping the ball out. Let's see what happens here. If I'm an odds-on man, it's a quarterback sneak.
It is third down and less than a yard right from midfield. Tracy Ham under center. Nick Subas. Ham on the sneak as Tom Matte called it. And it looked like he went over left guard, and looks like he has it.
I don't think there's any question about this one. All he had to do is break that plane on the 55-yard line. Went right off left tackle there. Dove in, back, sort of leading through there, picked up the first down.
Ledbetter coming out of that mud. Looks like he's having a fun night. There's the sneak, and Tracy's in there. Tom, the attendance, 14,056. And Tom Matte will go out and shake hands with every one of them.
I'll tell you.
Thank them for coming tonight.
Thank them for coming to this game, because this is a real love of football to come out and sit in this weather.
12-4, the advantage of first downs. Ham back to throw, pump fake, going deep. Nobody open down there, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Walter Wilson, but he was double teamed, and Ham was lucky that one wasn't picked up because there was nothing open.
Again, in this kind of a situation, this is where, you know, I maybe have a different philosophy on it, but I'll say this. What you've got to do in these kind of situations is you take it a little piece. You're not going to be able to get these long balls unless you really get lucky. He does the pump and throws it out there, but it could have been an interference call by on Walter Wilson that time. He was holding that defensive back.
That was his buddy. That was Junior Robinson, his college teammate. Robinson and Gerhardt on that coverage. Now it's 2nd and 10. Ham drops the snap. Now scrambling around, and down he goes at about the 51-yard line. Tackled for a loss by James King. And here comes the punt team.
2:04 remaining in the third quarter. And
Lost
again,
the
watch,
snap, Tom.
right there, he picks up the ball, sets up there, looking for someone, finds out, just comes back. James King's comes back from the backside, tackling right around the ankles.
It's a good job by the contain on the defense. They didn't let him get outside, forced him back to the middle where the help is, right?
A lot of times when those kind of plays happen, when the ball drops, everybody sort of relaxes a little bit. But Sacramento tonight, their defense is just doing a great job of recovering and making the big play.
Josh Miller, his 8th punt coming up here. He's averaged over 45 yards on the first 7. Good snap this time, and they got a piece of it. Penalty marker down. Now the ball picked up, and another flag down. They didn't give him the yards over there. That'll be against Baltimore. We'll have to see what the first one is. So 2 penalty markers down, one at the beginning of the play. The other at the end will go against Baltimore. And let's see the officials sort this out.
This could be real interesting. Maybe offsetting penalties. A little holding on Sacramento on the way down there. And then not enough room to catch the ball on the other call.
We're blocking the football.
I can say one thing about the officials tonight. I've never seen so many huddles in my whole life.
Well, get it right. That's the main thing. Sacramento knows all about officials after last week.
I think Don Matthews knows all about officials also, so he's had his day in court with those guys too.
Sacramento last week caught a pass that thought would give them a win at Edmonton on the final play of the game, and then the official was overruled. It was called an incomplete pass. There was a penalty marker on the play. Looked like Kerwin Bell had been face masked, and suddenly that flag was picked up, and the game was over.
No yard. Baltimore, a 5-yard penalty. Holding Sacramento. First down.
So holding against Sacramento, no yards against Baltimore, and the Gold Miners will take over.
And the Gold Miners will take over, but you add the difference of them. Here again, boy, you just got to hold that ball a little bit, nip that ball as he was going up. The rush was on. But what they do on the penalties in this situation, Scott, is they take the 2 of them and subtract 1 from the other, so that moved them back another 10 yards. So Sacramento will get the ball on about the 36-yard line.
Jamie Redmond partially blocked that punt. Time running out in the third quarter, 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Hill gives it ahead to Mills. Short gain on the play, 2 or 3 yards. Malcolm Goodwin on the stop.
It's almost looking like they're trying to play control ball right now, try to run the clock down and let Baltimore play catch-up football. They've got a 13-point lead right now. As long as they can keep Baltimore in their own zone back there, they're
just
content
take care
with
of it. Just take care of it, and throw in a few first downs and punt it down the field. And
Let them play
They
catch
can't
up.
beat you if they don't score, right?
That's right.
2nd down and 7. Bell will go from the shotgun. Blitz is on.
Harris.
Lester Smith coming on the blitz. Got a hand on him. And he tried to get it to Mills, but it's incomplete. Smith came all the way across. Ken Benson on the coverage, and that'll force a punt.
That'll force the punt. Ken Benson, good coverage on that. Again, watch. You'll see Bell rolling back out to the weak side over here.
There comes Lester. O.J. Brigance up top.
Good pressure being put on the quarterback that time. Not too many times today have you seen the defense back in their huddle back there as far as the territory, putting the pressure on Bell to throw the football, but that time it was there.
There's the numbers on Pete Gardere, the punter. 6 punts with a terrific average of over 48 yards a kick. Low snap. Picks off another dandy. Driving Smith back to about the 20. 25, cuts it back to the middle, still on his feet and down at about the 35-yard line.
Good return. Good kick again in this weather.
He's having a great night.
Another great long punt. Has to be in the 48-49 area.
How about 51?
Okay, 51. I can't add that to it.
You got up to 48 and the calculator stopped, right? Only 21 seconds left in the quarter.
Thank goodness for a good spotter over here and a stat guy that can give us that kind of stuff. They can add quicker than I can.
Let's see if Tracy Ham can put any kind of a spark into this Baltimore offense. It's been dormant tonight. Time running out here in the 3rd quarter. Ham throwing deep for Wilson. Incomplete. Again, good coverage back there in the secondary. They've done a terrific job all night. Junior Robinson, and that's going to, well, 1 second left here in the quarter.
And again, throwing the deep ball, again, right here, Wilson going up for the pass would have to make an unbelievable catch to bring that one in. Good coverage by Sacramento. But, you know, again, they're going for the long pass. They're going for the quick home run. You're not going to get it in this kind of weather. You've got to take your bits and pieces.
8, 10, 12 at a time,
yes,
right?
Exactly. You get the first downs and keep the drive going.
Robinson and Wilson, the two teammates from East Carolina, going after the ball that time. Now 2nd and 10. Here comes the pressure. Tracy scrambling. Now he should have a little room in front of him. Gets a good block. Ham at the 30, 35, 40. He's got the first down as he runs it out of bounds. And a good peel back block, Tom. I'm not sure who it was. One of the linemen really leveled somebody.
Great block, and Tracy knew exactly what he had to get. And Subas is the guy that comes back with the peel back and really gets a great block on it. Tracy out there doing the best. Again, watch here. He's looking for receivers. Can't find anybody. Cuts back in. Now watch him reverse field here. Go all the way back to the outside. Knows exactly where those yardage markers are and gets the first down.
All right, that'll do it. End of the 3rd quarter. Sacramento 13, Baltimore nothing. Welcome back. It's 13-0, and a little cheer on the field as Fred Anderson, the owner of the Gold Miners, has just addressed the fans in what may be the last game here in Sacramento.
And just saying a very special thank you for the people to come out here to support this team, and hoping that the mayor of Sacramento will make some efforts to keep the franchise here in Sacramento.
All right, 13-0 Sacramento. Baltimore trying to get on the scoreboard. There's a little screen pass to Peter Tuipulotu, and he's tackled, goes down just across the 50 at about the 51. Brown made the stop. Here's a stat after trailing after 3 quarters. CFL's 0-4. We'll try to change that here tonight.
Again, just take the bits and pieces. A little screen pass to Tuipulotu, picks up 6 yards. Now, let's go for it and continue to do these kind of things here and keep that football in the possession of Baltimore and be able to move down the field and score some points.
If you establish some of the short stuff, then you might be able to do something a little longer. Ham in the pocket, feels the pressure, flips off to Pringle. Mike hit at the 55. He never goes down. The first tackler seldom gets him, but it looks like they may have knocked him down about a yard short.
There's a fumble on the play again.
No indication that it's going the other way, so I believe it's Baltimore's ball.
Again, just dumps it out right here to Pringle. Watch him go up here. Gets hit. Almost has a first down. They try to take it away again. He's driving. The ball is stripped again. And who comes on in? I think he comes in.
Got a measurement now. Baltimore in this wet, soggy night. 7 fumbles. They've lost 2. Jim Spiros is here with us in the booth. Heard Fred Anderson down there. Jim, what are your thoughts on the future of this franchise?
Well, I think Fred's got a few options, and you know, he is pursuing this Oakland A's baseball team. He's in negotiations with Oakland. I know he's still in negotiations with Sacramento here too, and you know, Fred is very dedicated. He's had a football team here for 4 years, and I think now he wants to make sure he has a venue to play in. That's his main move right now, I think.
Very, very crucial down, Scott.
3rd and 1. Remember, 3-down football. Need the first down here. Turn it over, and Tracy Ham sneaks it in the middle of the line. And I think we're going to have a measurement. Looks like he had a little surge there behind Nick Subis and John Earl.
Got both Earl boys in there right now. Again, Subis right up in front.
So Sharp Ordanish blocking down there.
Pringle putting his head in there, taking the defensive back. That shows you that this kid is just such a great competitor. You know, he's going to stick in there and block. He's been doing lots of the running, but boy, I'll tell you one thing, he'll do anything to win this ball game.
Got an injured player right there for the Gold Miners, number 93. I think it's George Bethune. They'll give him some attention. Jim, obviously, we've been talking about the tickets on sale for next week's home game, regardless of the outcome of this one. You know, you're at home for the first pro football playoff game in Baltimore since 1977, and I know you're excited about that.
That's true, Scott. Right now, you know, this will be the first game back, and it's a second season. And tonight, you know, these guys from Sacramento are playing like this is their Grey Cup. It's a sloppy field, but I give their football team credit. You know, our players here, we got 13 minutes left in this game, so they're going to have to pull together. But we will be back. It's November 12th. We got plenty of good seats available, and I wish the fans would come out and support us, because as Drive to the Grey Cup, your second season starts November 12th.
Let's talk. That number is 554-1040, so give us a call there.
Jim, let's talk about the possibilities. If you win tonight, you know you're the top seed and going to be home for the first 2 rounds. If Sacramento hangs on here, things get a little more complicated. You know you're home next week, but things get a little fuzzy after that.
Well, tomorrow Hamilton plays Saskatchewan, and if Hamilton wins, they'll be the team we'd be playing if we win this game tonight. Now, if Toronto beats Winnipeg, we could still
win the East, right?
Win by default here and be 12-6 and be tied with them, but win on the total points. So we still have a chance here, but you know it's in our control. And these guys came out. We came out a day early, Scott. I thought we were prepared. No one could predict this weather, but both teams have to play in it. And I just hope that our offense can get something going here. There's still certainly a lot of time left.
George Bethune taken care of, and we're just about set to go. 13:33 left in the 3rd. Sacramento on top, 13-0. Safety, the only points here in the second half, as Josh Miller elected to put a knee down in the end zone when Baltimore was prepared to punt deep in their own end zone. Decided to give up the 2. First down and 10.
Well, this is a situation, again, I keep responding to Tracy Ham and how he has to respond. He's got to take control of this game right now and take the little bits and pieces.
Fake to Pringle, feels the pressure and stays on his feet and throws incomplete. Now Peter Tuipulotu is up there. They want a grounding call, but I don't think they're going to get it. Tuipulotu in the area. Jolson had Tracy Ham by the leg and looked like he was making a wish.
Boy, again, you see Tracy setting up in the pocket. The pressure is being put on again right here. Bethune's coming in, grabs him by the ankle. Tracy has enough to get away from there.
Second down and 10. There's Jolson hanging on for dear life.
He came in for Bethune. I'm sorry.
Tracy out of the shotgun. Wide receivers to the right. Has some time. Throws down the middle. It's complete. And about a yard short of a first down, I believe. Peter Tuipulotu Brown on the tackle, and again, it's going to be 3rd and 1.
A 3rd and 1 situation, and they're going to take a look at it, I believe. It's just about a half a yard short, so I don't think there's any question on what Baltimore has to do in this situation, Scott. Again, look for Tracy Ham to run that quarterback sneak.
Tracy 5 for 17 passing on the night. 3rd down and 1. 12:20 to play in the 4th quarter. The fake into the middle, and I believe it's Peter Tuipulotu for the 1st down.
Boy, that was close. A good turn by Tuipulotu on that one. Once he got hit at the line of scrimmage, got hit directly at the line of scrimmage and made that turn, that second effort on his part, got, I believe, the 1st down. Again,
Right
you're
there.
seeing it right here. Watch how he turns and reaches out. Boy, that's great effort.
Well, 215-pounder, and he needed all his muscle because 2 guys had him right there, and there's the spin and the lunge forward to get the 1st down, we think, but here's the measurement. Just does have it by about the length of the football, looks like. 1st down.
And we have an injured player down on the field.
Looks like it might be Nick Subas. John Congemi warming up on the side. Their center, Nick Subas, getting some attention. Will step out. 12:11 left. It's Sacramento 13. Baltimore on the move with nothing. Crazy George leading the cheers here. You got to be crazy to be out on a night like this leading the cheers, right? Or a crazy fan. Having some fun. Well, Baltimore on the move now as they try to get on the scoreboard. 1st and 10 from Sacramento's 44. Nick Subas replaced at center by Scott Miller.
Crazy George looks like a...
Oh, ball is loose. Tracy under pressure just throws it up incomplete. Looks like Ham having a little trouble moving around, Tom. We saw John Congemi warming up. Another drop snap.
Another drop snap on it. Ooh. Ham 5 for 18 for 43 yards and 1 interception. That's not anywhere near the capabilities that what Tracy has here. But in these conditions, it's just been a real mess.
Second down and 10. The clock running. 11:40 left. Time a factor now as Baltimore needs to get on the board, trailing 13-0.
Blitz is on.
Blitz is on, and Tracy gets outside. He's got some room to run. 35, and he's close to a 1st down. Big effort from Tracy Ham.
A great effort by Tracy Ham. Again, they had the all-out blitz that time. Malcolm Frank makes the tackle on the play. But again, watch here, the pressure coming from the inside. Tracy sees it coming, steps up, breaks back to the outside, and sees the hole there, knows exactly how much he has to get. If he could just keep his balance there, he could have scored the touchdown.
And the sticks are in.
And it's a 1st down.
1st down. They'll move them again. I'd like to say hello to Joe and Sandy Hollifield in Sparks, Maryland, from their son Joe, who's out here at tonight's game, pulling for Baltimore. Yeah. He'll be dry in about 3 days. 1st and 10 as they keep the drive alive. Tracy Ham making some plays. Fakes the pass. Now starts to run, and he's stripped of the football, and I believe Sacramento has it. Sacramento football. So Baltimore had put together one of their best drives of the night. Curtis Moore stripped the football from Tracy Ham. Here it is, Tom.
Again, Tracy breaking back to the outside, just knocks the ball out. Tracy's got to put it away. Nothing you can do about that. He's got to tuck it away. He's putting it into pressure. He's keeping it in that throwing arm again. And boy, just a great defensive effort by Sacramento here to come up with the knockout of the ball knocked out of Tracy's hand.
Well, turnovers are usually going to tell the story, Tom, and there it is. Baltimore with 4, only 1 on the other side. Mills coughed up a fumble earlier.
And Mills carrying the ball on that play picks up about 5 yards. Again, just basic football. And 30-some seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Mills just plowing up there, picks up about 3 or 4 yards on it.
Ken Benson on the tackle for Baltimore. 2nd and 7. Now they need 2 downs and out here, the defense. They're trying to stop Kerwin Bell here. In the pocket, plenty of time, throws across, incomplete. Anthony on the coverage as he tried to get it to Rod Harris.
Rod Harris went in motion to one side, stopped, planted, and what you're doing that when you're defensive back, you're coming across. So what he does is he stops, just comes back the way he was going before after the snap of the ball. That defensive back usually is a couple yards behind him. Again, that time, Anthony doing good coverage. The ball was overthrown. But that's a tough play on a defensive back.
And a boxing note, word is that George Foreman has put out Michael Moore in the 10th round. Mr. Foreman at age 45 is the champ. We'll get you ready. Matty versus Foreman next. Nardier, some pressure on him, another good punt. This is Lester Smith from the 23. Tries to get his footing. And down he goes at about the 26. So good coverage from Sacramento. Baltimore will take over. 9:42 left in the game. Still trailing 13-0. A 45-yard punt from Pete Gardere.
Right now the defense
Curry,
is really
hobbles on.
Right now the defense is really just teeing off on that offensive line. I think what they're going to have to do is do some runs up the middle with Pringle to see if they can just break one, because if he gets by that secondary with his speed, he can go all the way on one of these plays. But the defense is just teeing off and coming at Tracy Ham right now.
Mike Pringle still short of the 2,000-yard mark. Ham back to throw. Screen pass to Tui Peloto. He's at the 30, the 35, and gets up close to the first down. Looks like he got about 9 on the play. Miller and Nelson on the tackle for the Gold Miners.
We got a medical report on Nick Subis. He does have a sprained knee, and he will be out for the remainder of the game. So that really puts some pressure on Scott Miller to fill in there.
Well, Subis down. Ballard is down. The center and left guard both out, as is Matt Goodwin. Sticks brought in. The measure for the first down, and he did get the first down.
See, that's what you take. You take the little bits and pieces like that. You get somebody with good hands like Tui Peluto who will catch those little ones coming out of the backfield. When you let those receivers go deep, drive those defensive backs, and then if a back like Tui Peluto or Pringle can catch that short pass, they have the opportunity to break you for a big gainer. But take the high percentage passes in this kind of weather.
Mike Pringle on the handoff, and he is tripped up for a loss. Busting through James King.
James King coming back from the backside, just knifing down from the outside over there and being able to get him, to come through.
Good quickness, and King takes him down. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11. And the snap is dropped. Ham can't find it. Pile up, and let's see who's... Big Neil Fort maybe came out with it. But it's going to force another Baltimore punt, and I don't know how many snaps have been lost.
We've had over seven fumbles right now, 8 fumbles right now.
Tracy Ham looks like he's hurt.
Tracy Ham is down. He went for that ball that time. He couldn't find it because it was just when he snapped the ball up, it just popped out, and he's looking all over for it. Watch how he looks. He can't find the ball. He's looking to the right. Now he sees it to the left.
I'm not sure, Tom, but it looked like it never really came up from Scott Miller. It looked like it maybe just skidded back along the ground. Neil Fort on the recovery. Well, you can't see on that angle.
Tracy, I think, gets his knee popped right in here a little bit. Let's see. Guy jumps on the back of him going for the ball.
John Conjemi warming up over on the far sideline. Veteran from Pitt, maybe back after this next series. 8 minutes left. We'll be back right after this. This is the last fumble, and watch the snap, Tom. Never even got up to his hands.
Never comes up. In this situation, the ball is slippery it is right now. You almost have to go to a two-snap just to make sure that the quarterback, the two-hand snap. And Tracy Ham going off, it looks like he hurt his arm.
Holding on to the right elbow there, and that's not a good sign. And now Josh Miller ready to punt. Under 8 minutes left in the game. Big rush coming on. Penalty markers down. Line drive kick skips by Harris. Across the 40's, got some room, and gets near the 50-yard line. But there's a flag down on the play.
Josh Miller gets clipped from behind. Officials don't even see it. He's down and out right now.
Under Josh Miller laying face down just across the 50-yard line, and now starts to get up. It's not Don Matthews signaling. 49 yards on the last punt for Miller, 19 on the return. And there's John Kangemi. He may be under center when Baltimore comes back on offense.
I don't think there's any question. Tracy Ham has really had it. I know it looks like he's got his arm hurt on the sideline over there, so we'll see.
Tom, I guess the concern now is not only this game, but how many of these guys are going to be ready to go next week in the playoffs.
Yeah, and this is a rough plane ride home, and you know, you're in the air 5-6 hours tonight on the way home because we have to refuel about halfway back with the plane. So it's going to be a long night coming home, and especially with these guys, as many injuries we've received.
Kerwin Bell with the offense now. They've got the ball in the lead. 7.5 minutes left. This is Mills busting through. Looks like he's close to a first down. Down to the Baltimore 50-yard line.
This is gut check time, Scott. This is where the team has really got to be able to rise to the occasion. The defense, we're putting a lot of pressure. Baltimore's putting a lot of pressure on the defense to make some plays happen, and it's going to have to do it right now. Let's see if they can come up with something that's going to really do it.
Watch Josh Miller.
Josh get hit. Now what a lousy clip.
That was Hurley Brown who came and
just nailed him from the backside.
Quarterback sneak, and that'll be a first down on 2nd and short. Kerwin Bell calls his own number. That keeps the chains moving and the clock running.
That penalty, I mean, that clip that they had on Josh Miller there, that should have been a 25-yard penalty. That was malicious.
Gerald Bayless on the tackle. There's the quarterback sneak.
Again, the quarterback covering it up with both hands as he gets the first down.
Mills, and Bayless is there to greet him.
Great penetration by Gerald Bayless again, coming right down the line, getting right in the backfield and letting him only pick up a couple of yards on the play. Clock's ticking down. We're down to 6 minutes, Scott. Not too much time remaining. Defense has got to either strip that ball out or come up with some crazy play here to be able to get that ball and get it in possession of Baltimore in the offense.
You tend to gamble a little more here. You might blitz. Go for the pick, try to create something, because the offense hasn't been able to. Here comes the blitz, and they've got a good play call, the screen, but good job by the defense.
Oh, that was a great job coming in on that right there. I'll tell you, Ken Watson coming in, making the play on the screen, reading it, Ken Benson rather, coming in and reading that play, picking it up, puts them in a punting situation, or they may try the field goal.
No, I don't think so, Tom. That would be a long way to go in this kind of mud.
Again, O.J. Brigant's coming in, seeing that the screen's right there. Benson coming up, make the tackle.
Gardere is in to punt. Lester Smith with a towel back on the 10-yard line, cleaning up his hands. Just a miserable day. It's been raining since last night. Hasn't let up one bit. Through the puddle next to Smith. Gardere hits a good kick inside the 10. Smith upfield and down at about the 16 or 17.
John Kangemi coming in at quarterback. Tracy Ham, I believe, went to the locker room.
Yeah, they took him in on the cart. So many players on Baltimore side have been injured in this game. Keith Ballard, the left guard, Nick Subis, the center, Tracy Ham, and Matt Goodwin have all left, and we can only hope that those guys will be ready next Saturday at 4 o'clock when Baltimore hosts the first-round playoff game.
Which will either be, I believe, against Ottawa or Hamilton.
Jemmy from the shotgun and a snap up over his head, and he's going to cover up and take the deuce. So the second safety of the night, and Nick Subis, the center, is out of there, and Scott Miller has had some problems. We saw the low snap that never got to Tracy Ham, and that time it just Jemmy didn't have a chance as it sailed over his head.
Boy, the mistakes that you make are the mistakes that kill you. And here again, this is something that just John Kangemi had no control over. The ball just went right up over the top. Scott Miller just getting knocked back on his heels on that one. Jemmy doing the smart thing, taking the safety, not trying to bring it on out.
I believe it was Scott Miller. I don't think it was Guy Earl, who's also done some centering.
No, it was Scott Miller, number 64.
So the second safety of the night, and now it's a 15-0 Sacramento lead, and Baltimore will have to kick to the gold miners with 4:45 left.
They're taking the ball on the 35-yard line, not taking any chances of a squib kick here. And
they have the option.
They have the option, and that's I think that's another good coaching decision right here by Stevenson to be able to take the ball on the 35-yard line. That eliminates the problem of having a fumble. We're down to 4:39 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, you don't see a lot of shutouts in the CFL, but Sacramento only 4.5 minutes away from throwing a goose egg on the board on Baltimore side. Mills turns the corner, 45, 50, still on his feet. One man to beat, and he's finally knocked down at the Baltimore 35-yard line. Michael Brooks took him down, but a big gainer for Troy Mills.
A great big gainer by Troy Mills, and I'll tell you, breaks it back to the outside, and this team, Sacramento, wants to be heard and has been heard tonight. They're a team that is going to have a 500 record, better than a 500 record, 9-8-1. And again, here's Mills breaking back to the outside, reads his blocks, comes back in, missed tackle right there, and Brooks comes in and saves a touchdown from going all the way.
30 yards or so on that pickup, and Mills is having himself another good game. Here he comes again. Short gain this time, got about 3.
Well, we've got some more injury reports right now, and one of them happens to be that Josh Miller has a concussion, and I can believe he had a concussion with the shot that he got from the back on that one there. And Tracy Ham, he has an elbow injury and has gone to the locker room.
Look at the numbers on Troy Mills, 28 rushes for 161 yards. I think he gets the game ball tonight.
I think he might deserve the game ball.
This game's only touchdown. Three-minute mark. Bell from the shotgun hands off to Mills. Down to about the 28-yard line. We're to bring up third down. Malcolm Goodwin, Gerald Bayless on this tackle. Now we get the 3-minute warning.
And the field goal team will be coming out to try to solidify this one.
2:56 left. Sacramento owns this one, 15-0. Season. And we'll be live from Memorial Stadium with that 4 o'clock kickoff. Anderson's field goal attempt is up, and it is good. So the 35-yard field goal off the foot of Roman Anderson, his second of the game, puts the gold miners up 18-0. And the quiz will be, Tom, if somebody didn't see this game and you said, okay, 18-0, tell me how they got those points. You think they could figure that one out?
I don't think they could have any idea.
Touchdown, 2 field goals, a single, 2 safeties.
I think that could be
something for everybody.
Something for everyone.
Except for Baltimore fans.
Except for Baltimore fans tonight. And
the devil made them do it.
The devil made him do it right there. That's right. This is a...
Hey, let's give Sacramento
some credit.
Some credit.
Darn right, they did. They did a great job tonight defensively. They went in with a game plan. They wanted to establish that running game, and they did. Mills did a great job. He has to be MVP of this game, no question.
Jemmy handles a high snap, throws down the middle. It's picked off. how to do it, fans. Number 97, Maurice Miller, has his second interception of the game. Threw it right down the middle, and Miller was back there playing center field waiting for it. I think he's going to take that ball home, too. Maurice Miller, their outstanding player. Shows him why. Some pressure up front by Willie Fears on Kajemi. Gets his jersey dirty. And now it's just a matter of running out the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds.
I think this is one game that Baltimore will want to forget about this year, because I think this is a reality check right now. Don Matthews will bring this one right back to the forefront after playing such an outstanding game last week.
And the week before
against BC. Both great football games. Team rising to the occasion and knowing how important it was. This game was just as important.
That's Mills. Got about 5 or 6 or 7. And you score 115 points in 2 weeks, and then Sacramento comes and throws a goose egg at you.
I think this is the one thing we don't want to forget, though, is we do have a game next week on Saturday, which is our first playoff game in 17 years, Scott. So give us a call, 554. We still have people there manning the phones, so there's a lot of good tickets left, so come on out and see us.
Just over 2 minutes, clock running, 2:04 left. And Mills isn't getting any time off. They didn't go to the second team here with a couple minutes left. Pushing upfield right there. Tracy Gravely in on that last tackle, some pushing and shoving.
Now, tempers are starting to flare right now because of the effort that was put forth here tonight. I think a little frustration by Baltimore right now, and that always happens in games.
Well, the approach from the Gold Miners, they were 8-8-1. They said, hey, we win tonight. We've had a 500 season. This is a team that deserves to be in the playoffs, Tom, but because of the format where you take the 4 top teams from the East and West, they're not going to make it. But other teams with a 4-12, 4-13 record could get in. And there he goes, Mills, right up the middle down to the 20-yard line. He's just padding his season stats. 12 more yards for Troy Mills, and you got to like the way he plays the game.
You've got to like it. He just did a great job running right up in the middle of the hole, breaking back to the outside a little bit, and picked up 12 yards on the play. That should put him almost near 200. He's about 187 yards right now, Scott. And how many carries? 32 carries. That's about 6 yards a carry.
Well, last 3 games, 230 2 weeks ago, 131 last week, and now he's at 187. Not a happy man over there, Don Matthews. Baltimore offside, I believe. Mills may have lost the football. Now some pushing and shoving going on. Alfred Payton got pushed. Kemp in at quarterback now. Jim Kemp.
Yeah, by the way, we haven't had a chance to say that, but Jack Kemp is here next door. His father, one of the main politicians in the Republican Party. He's his son.
Offside, Baltimore number 56. First down repeated.
His son playing quarterback right now, number 15.
Well, Jim played at Winston Churchill in Bethesda.
Went to Wake Forest. Yep. Good athlete.
Hasn't had much time this year. See 50%, but he's only thrown 10 passes for the year. He's 5 of 10. Of course, David Archer was the number 1 quarterback. Kerwin Bell got his shot when Archer suffered a dislocated thumb. 1:17 to play. Sacramento trying to go for more. They're on top 18-0. They've owned this game. Short gain up the middle on 1st and 5. That'll bring up about 2nd and 2. Now again, some pushing and shoving going on. Tony Burse in there, number 28.
Everybody's doing a little bit of mouthing here. Gerald Bayless, the officials talking to Gerald Bayless, quiet his teammates down.
Gerald's talking, but not to the officials. He's talking to somebody back in that huddle.
He wants a little piece of it. You can see his enthusiasm. What a competitive athlete he is.
1 minute left. Sacramento on the verge of sweeping the series against Baltimore. They won in Baltimore back on September 10th on the final play of the game. This is Burst, breaks a tackle, trying to get wide. 5 on his feet, and down to about the 1-yard line. Tony Burst with a good run, good determined run. Ran out of a couple of tackles, Tom. He's a blocking back, so when he gets the football, it's a rare treat for him.
It's a real rarity. Breaks back to the outside again. Missed tackle right there, another missed tackle. Guy keeps his balance, keeps the ball covered up, gets down to about the 1-yard line. Great second effort on his part.
Finally brought down by Brigance and Goodwin. Tony Burst with a nice run, 5th-year pro. Played in the World League, Arena League, the NFL for the Seahawks. Ball just outside the 1. Kemp is the quarterback, Jim Kemp. Straight ahead, and he didn't get in. Tried to do the jump thing, and Malcolm Goodwin was there, and he smacked him. That was power on power.
And Malcolm Goodwin got hurt on that himself when he smacked him.
21 seconds, and Baltimore really doesn't need any more injuries. They've had a bunch of them here tonight.
Again, watch on the look of, watch Malcolm Goodwin come up over the top right here, right at the top, boy, and they meet head on right there. Malcolm pushes him back, but boy, he's down. I think he hurt his hand.
Here's a better look at it, Tom. A little wider.
A little wider angle. Watch. Boom. Oh, what great timing that was by the defense.
All right, we'll take a timeout. Only 21 seconds left in this one. Sacramento 18, Baltimore nothing. Welcome back. 21 seconds left in this one, and Malcolm Goodwin still getting some attention down on the field with Sacramento on top, 18-0.
Looked like Scott, it was his shoulder injury. I saw Doc Gertson down there rubbing his shoulder a little bit and taking a look at that.
There's Mike Pringle now, Tom. The story with Mike, of course, he had a chance to reach the 2,000-yard mark, something only 3 other professionals have done. Herschel Walker, Eric Dickerson, and O.J. Simpson. And right now he's 28 yards short of that. 12 rushes on the night for 71 yards. But whether he gets to 2,000 or not, what a remarkable year this kid has had. Just kind of a throw-in the trade with the gold miners.
Yeah.
And he has been sensational.
He's such a competitor and such a great athlete, and a very quiet, shy young man, but I've got a lot of respect for him. I think that his rushing, breaking the rushing record that was set a long time ago, I think it was about 15, 16 years ago, he broke that this year, last week, with going up to 1,901 yards, and now with the 71 yards today, he just adds on to that rushing record by an individual for one season. So
Mike now at 1,972 yards for the career. That's his all-time CFL single season record. He'd also smashed the yards from scrimmage record, came into this game with 2,340, and we like to commend that man and everybody else on our crew, all the cameramen and technicians that have been out in this rain all day, not only the 3 hours during the game, Tom, while we sit up here in a dry booth, but stringing cable, and they've been out in this weather for 6, 7, 8 hours, and they'll be here well after the game. Not an easy job anytime, but especially on a night like this.
This is just absolutely, totally miserable. They're bringing the stretcher out for Malcolm, and they're worried about his neck, I believe, on this one, because
well, they always want to take every precaution. Dr. Gertson is out there, and he's in good hands, but you want to, anytime you have a back or a neck injury or anything of that nature, you want to be real careful and take every precaution.
Again, you'll be able to see it here on the film as here's a play coming, and watch Goodwin comes right up over the top, and this is he just drives him on back and stops him from going in, but when he goes down, he's hurt.
And with only 21 seconds left, his twin brother left the game earlier. Matt Goodwin had a thigh contusion. And now, of course, everybody's thoughts with Malcolm is he gets tended to. Football game is over as far as the contest is concerned. Sacramento with an 18-0 lead with 21 seconds left. And again, we've talked a lot about Baltimore having a chance in their first year as an expansion team to be Eastern division champions here tonight, and of course they missed out on that opportunity, but it's not over. They could still be champions if Winnipeg loses tomorrow at Toronto.
And Toronto is an up-and-coming team right now. They're very
coming on,
strong. Yeah. They lost a game against Shreveport the week before in a last-second field goal with no time remaining on the clock, but they've got a younger quarterback in there right now that's doing a great job for them. So I would expect Toronto to give Winnipeg a good run for their money up there. So we're going to have to sort of have
we don't need to do that.
A little prayer for them to do it.
Right now, Malcolm Goodwin is being taken off the field, placed on the cart.
These are the kind of injuries you do not like to see, Scott, especially when they put them on a board like that.
Well, you see the concern of the other team, not only the Baltimore players, but the Sacramento players around. And it's a tough, violent game, and injuries are a part of it. But when anytime anybody is injured to this extent, everybody stops and think, because as close, and this game was part of your life, everybody knows that there are injuries in the game, but you sometimes forget what a violent game this is.
No question. You can see Dr. Gertzen making sure that he's holding on to the back of his neck there, and they just don't want to take any chances at all. Whenever you have an injury like this, you just make sure that they remain stable and that nothing can happen, because the severity of these kind of injuries just worry everyone.
See Malcolm moving his arms.
Yeah,
and, that's a good sign.
That's a very good sign. When you see his arm, they're probably asking him, "Can you move your arms while you're there?" And do you have any feeling in it? Because that's what's happened. I had one of those injuries when I was in college, and I almost completely severed a nerve up in my shoulder, and I lost all my power in my left arm. And in fact, the atrophy set in so bad that I had to start with about a pound weight to build it back up again.
So, saw some of the fans here that have been out in this weather all night giving Malcolm a nice hand. Let's take a listen and just hear that last play. We talk about what a tough game this is and the hitting that goes on. You can hear some of it, I think, on this play.
Whoa.
Well, you could hear the pop down there, Tom, and as often as we sit up here in the stands as fans and watch games on TV, until you're actually down on the field on the sidelines, you don't realize some of the collisions that take place in a game.
And the thing is this, Scott, is these athletes are so much bigger, stronger, and faster today. It's absolutely amazing, because whenever you take a look at both of those forces meeting each other, that is like a couple of trains going downhill.
Well, we're back to play now with 13 seconds of clock running. Second and goal from the 1. Kemp gives it off to Mills, and he didn't get in. They stack them up at about the 2-yard line. 3 seconds showing on the clock.
This is where, you've got the game in command right now. You drop down to the knee and let the clock run out. There it goes.
No tiebreaker. They will run one play. Time has expired, but in the CFL, there's one play remaining. Kemp under center. Final play of the season for Sacramento. Burst, and he's not going to get in. Just kind of took the ball and felt contact and said that's enough. So it's all over. Final game perhaps in the history of the Sacramento Gold Miners. There's a good chance this franchise will be located elsewhere next year, perhaps Oakland, but they go out a winner, Tom, and you got to give them a lot of credit.
Well, this team rose to the occasion tonight. They knew that last week they felt that they were sort of dumped on by the officials, because they thought that score was a legitimate score, which would have put them in the playoff situation. Now, they came into this ball game with a lot of pride. They were out of it. I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, and I give a lot of credit to the ball players on this ball club for doing a great job. This weather was absolutely miserable, It is miserable. It still is miserable. They may need the rain up here, but we sure don't. And I'm just hoping that the injuries that we have sustained will be minimal.
Yeah, Malcolm Goodwin, of course, of immediate concern. He seems to be fairly seriously injured. Hopefully he'll be fine. Sacramento wins at 18-0. We saw a rarity tonight. You don't see many shutouts in the CFL, but that's what we had here in Sacramento.